All right, man. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, man, Be Easy in the building said, Grand Rising, Martin. Big ups to you. Looking forward to today's live. Yeah, we're going to chop it up, man. It's fight weekend, man. I get to see one of my favorite fighters this weekend. So you know I'm gonna be amped up about that, man. Jaron Ennis gonna be in the house, is gonna be doing his thing this weekend. I'm looking forward to him knocking out your boy Thomas Delorme and getting up in them rankings so we can see him in a championship fight. Freddie Jimenez in the building. What's going on, man? Say good morning, Fannon. Everybody looking forward, and everyone looking forward to today's live chat. Yeah, man. Yeah, JB Hanna, it's back. I just had to go replace the cord, man. Let me know if y'all can hear me though, because if you can't hear me, then audio's not back. But I'm pretty sure audio is back like a mug, man. Just confirm that you can hear me. Confirm that you can hear the volume, and it will know for sure. Michael Kirkland, what's going on, man? Big Block in the building. What's happening, man? Reginald Armstead, good morning, family. What's going on, Southern T Boxing, man? I see your channel popping, man. I was listening to your live stream the other day. Yeah, man. God, dog, man. Y'all see about Rolly Romero? Man, Rolly Romero got Rolly Romero got some dirt put out on him last night. Real nasty style, man. Oh, man, I feel sorry for that dude putting him out there like that, man. Hope it ain't true. Hope it's just some chick that's hating on him. But, man, if it's not, man, wow. Wow, man. Chris say, good morning, chat. And Fannon, what's going on, man? Yeah, man, what's happening with you? We'll get into the chat as soon as more people pour into the chat, man. Hit the like button on the way in, man. Sav Williams said, what's good, Fannon? Did you see Sean Porter's video about him having potentially more power? I have not seen that, man. I have not seen that video. I saw him flexing. But I didn't see that, man. Much love in that super chat to my man Southern T Boxing, man. What's good? All right, man. Well, Rolly Romero, this girl put out some like sexual assault stuff on Rolly Romero and said that they basically said that he was like this serial creep, that she was in a car with him. He was like try to make him perform oral sex on her in the car, made her do that in the car to him, and just all kind of craziness, man. I don't want to get into the explicits of it. I mean, I don't want to get, because it's somebody's accusation. You know what I mean? She didn't call from what I understand, she didn't call the police. The man's not under arrest or anything like that. But Gervonta Davis shared it though. So I'm like, man, wow, man, it's dirty out here in these streets, man. Dirty. But hopefully he didn't do it, man. But hey, man, I don't know, running around, man. Riley got that look though. Southern T said Riley was trying to get some. Oh yeah. It wasn't a dude. Wasn't nothing related to no dude, man. It's just a girl was accusing him. A woman was accusing him of doing something inappropriate. And, it's kind of wild, to have somebody do that to you right before you have a big fight, right before you got a chance to become famous, to put that out there, to really become famous and put that out there on you. So, I'll take it with a grain of salt, man. Nana said, good morning, good afternoon from London, England. God bless us with another day. You ain't lying, man. Let's have a great broadcast. Yes, they did bless us with another day, man. Man, I got a call from a very long time friend, man, that his father had passed. It was completely healthy, man. Well, obviously he wasn't completely healthy, but they said he was healthy, man. And, just all of a sudden, boom, he didn't wake up, man. It's just like, wow, man. So, tomorrow ain't promised, man. Freddie Jimenez, man. Hey, Fannon. Also, did you hear about Ryan Garcia and Canelo telling Ryan to stop wasting his talent and get back in the gym? Yeah, man. Ryan, I heard what Ryan told Canelo, too. He's like, man, if I can't do it clean, I don't want to do it. That's what he said. He said, man, look, I don't want to use Combuterol. I don't want to use Phentermine. If I can't do it, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I don't know. I didn't know how to take that from Canelo. He's not dedicated enough. Like what? You know what I'm saying? Like, he need to make sure he gets on steroids and juice up and all that stuff. Man, I don't know, man. Ryan Garcia maybe not be dedicated, man. He may not be, man. Young father, you know. Some stuff happens, man. Giovanni Walker in the building said, what's your opinion on Uskatagi? Jose Uskatagi testing positive on the upcoming fight against David Benavidez. Man, well, let me tell you something, man. I'm not surprised. Not surprised, dog. Not surprised, dude. I've been telling you guys about those fighters that are not that skilled but can just walk through a ton of punches, right? And eventually just wear their guy down, even though they're taking a bunch of shots to the head, dude. That's what he looks like, man. I'm telling you, a lot of those fighters that come on at the end of fights, right, and really just like overwhelm people with their work, you know, with their work rate and all that stuff in the second half of the fight, man, them dudes be juicing, man. Them dudes be juicing. You know what I'm saying? It's like they juice. So don't always wonder. I don't always think, man. Hey, Quintoni Davis said Riley got that creep look for real. Yeah, dog, he got that creep look. That's the only thing I'll say to be fair to Riley now. To be fair to Riley, that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say is he got that creep look. For sure. He got that weirdo look, man, because he ain't quite, you know, he ain't quite right in the head, man. He ain't quite right. But, dude, I don't understand why he got to try to, you know, muscle it out of a chick. You know what I'm saying? like, man, he ain't a bad man, dude. It ain't like he's, you know, there should be women that want to talk to him. You know what I mean? I don't get all that, man. But there's a lot of dudes like that, man. No doubt about it. Back to Giovanni Walker. Yeah, man, here's my take on that, man. Those guys, a lot of those fighters who specialize in wearing you down from round 9 to 12, right? When they say, oh, don't worry, when that guy when his gas goes away, you'll be right there. You know, that type of thing, like Oscar Valdez, you know, like Oscar Valdez, Antonio Margarito, you know, guys like that, cheating. I'm trying to tell you, man. But so that didn't surprise me at all, man, that dude would be on IPO. Not at all, man. And honestly, man, now it tells you something, man, that Caleb Plant might be more ready than you think for Canelo. He may be more ready than you think. And honestly, Uskatagi took a whooping against Caleb Plant and was coming on in the second half of the fight. I'm telling you, man, sometimes you need to eye test these dudes. You know what I mean? Like when they driving down the road, like, you know, you have probable cause and like somebody's driving down the road and they swerving from lane to lane and the cop behind them is like, yeah, let me pull over and test this dude. Because there's something this dude is doing that doesn't quite sit right, doesn't quite look right. And that's that scenario with a lot of those guys. Uskatagi, I wouldn't have said that I knew that before, but I wouldn't have doubt that, man. Ryan said, no, Ryan didn't say that, man. I was just joking, man. No, Ryan didn't say that. I was just joking. Egg, no, man. He did not say that, man. Do not put that on. I was just joking. Since Canelo want to snitch on him, since Canelo want to snitch on him about him not being dedicated, like, man, dude. First of all, man, what you putting him on the? Why you putting his business on the street like that, man? And tearing at him like that. You know what I mean? T. Showa said before Jaron Ennis mentions Spence or Bud, tell him to face Gary Antoine Russell. Man, Gary Antoine Russell's got to get in the same weight class as him. To Showa. Now, I appreciate you putting in that plug for Gary Antoine Russell and not wanting Boots to have his contemporaries to blow by his contemporaries and all that. However, man, he got to make it into the weight class. Let's just be real about it. The dude got to be in the weight class. He's not in the weight class right now. So there's nothing really for him. There's nothing really for him to do, man. Trey Boy says, salute for 9. Great morning, my brother. Yeah, man, it is, man. It is, man. I feel really blessed, man. Life is getting better, man. Life is feeling better, man. This year is rounding out to not be so terrible. So it's, you know, one of the worst years I've had in a long time, but, you know, it is, I guess in a certain extent, one of the best too, man. Very clarifying, man. You know what I mean? Got a lot of clarity for my road forward in my life. But man, yeah, man, just a great morning, man. To talk boxing, man, be healthy, be thankful for everything you have, your opportunities in life, all that good old stuff, all the good positive things that you need to say to yourself, to not let all this negativity in the world weigh down on you, man. He said, was Riley a girl, a woman from birth? No, man. Hey, dude, that dude's a dude now. Come on now. I don't know why y'all don't beat up on Riley too much, man. Ryan, a bussy to say that, man. Riley did not say that. I was joking, Isaiah Felix. I was joking. That was a joke. No, Ryan Garcia did not say that. I did not hear him say to Canelo that he did not want to do steroids. I did not hear that. That was a joke, because that was a joke at Canelo Alvarez's expense. That's it. Because everybody else in that camp, whole bunch of other people in that camp pop dirty. So that's why I said it. But let me repeat this. Let me repeat this. That is not something that he said. Okay? That is not literally something that he said, man. I was just messing with y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? I was just messy. He said he's too ussy OG. Yeah. I know he did say that. He said he ain't all the way committed to the gym because look, dude said he got mental health issues. Man, you got to take a break sometimes, man. Canelo don't need to get in that man's head. Everybody's life ain't the same. Ryan Garcia might have been feeling the pressure, man. They was pushing that dude on to Gervonta Davis fight all quick. You know what I mean? He's feeling the pressure of stardom at a very young age, man. Canelo didn't have that pressure like that, man. Didn't have the pressure that Ryan Garcia had. Not that early in his career. He didn't start getting all of that people all on top of him and all that stuff, at least not in the United States, until, he was he'd been a pro for a long time before that happened to Canelo. So you just gotta, I'm giving Ryan a break, man. I don't think Ryan's a bad guy, man. Ryan just wears his yeah, but he probably does need to get a little more, he ain't beating those other dudes in that weight division though, man. Because he don't want to juice yet. Malcolm Allen said, Fannon, I thought about this one yesterday. What if Mayweather has issues with Blair Cobbs, and that's the reason he didn't want to shake hands with the fingernail guy? Oh man, Blair the Flair wears fingernail polish too. First of all, look, man, you can't tell me that Floyd Mayweather Jr. doesn't wear fingernail polish. I'm sorry. That dude wears fingernail polish, dog. I will bet you money. He has fingernail polish. I bet you. I will bet you on not anything, but I'll bet you $200 he wears fingernail polish. The only thing is that it's clear. I guarantee you that dude. I'm not guaranteeing you. I am highly suspicious that man wears fingernail polish because he gets facials and all that stuff done. He's always got something. He's got a woman doing his nails. He's got a woman. He sits there, in the Mafia Don style, getting interviews when people, shaving his, trimming his beard for him and all that stuff. Full well that dude gets pedicures and manicures. If he gets manicures and pedicures, chances are that dude got fingernail polish on his nails, because that's what the women will try to do to you every time you do it. They'll be like, yeah, you got to put a clear coat of nail polish on your nails. And a whole bunch of guys were wearing that stuff. And it came in there the same time them skinny pants, wearing them skinny pants with sweaters that go down to your ankle that look like dresses. So I don't buy that, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't buy it from these guys like all of a sudden they ain't taking pictures with somebody because they look effeminate. The clothes these dudes are wearing, he ain't gonna take a picture with Michael Westbrook. Michael Westbrook dressed like a woman, and y'all know it. And I've seen Floyd Mayweather in outfits of, look, man, he carries a purse. I've seen Floyd carry a purse. I don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, please. You just don't want to. He may have looked like he was straight up gay, and you want to say, oh, I don't do the nail polish, man. But come on, man. I don't believe that, dog. I'm telling you straight up. I'll bet you money he got nail polish on, man. I bet you money. Hey, hold on one second. Sorry about that, man. I got to get this. I got to plug my computer in. I forgot to plug it in. All right. There you go. I was like, man, what happened to all the lights, man? It was so dull in here, man. All right, cool. Got it. So yeah, man. Dr. Fate. Where's Dr. Fate at, man? Hey, man. Hey, if I answer your question, you gotta subscribe, Dr. Fate, and hit the bell icon, man, so you can watch the videos. All right. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell icon, so you can get the videos. Because we do videos during the daytime too, man, and I do reply to comments in the videos. Quintona Davis said, Raleigh voice make you want to say no thank you. Is that what it is? Because, dog, I know I've seen people uglier than Raleigh Romero get some women now. All right? You just need to shut up. Is that what it is, man? Oh, is that what Raleigh need to do? Keep his mouth shut? Something, I don't know, man. But whatever the case is with Raleigh, man, Raleigh got a girl that don't like him now. That ain't cool. But that don't mean that it's true. You know what I mean? But Raleigh need to stop talking to Javante though. I'm telling you, all these man, hey man. I told my daughter, I was like, hey man, I love boxing, but I don't know if I'd ever want you to date a boxer. You don't know when some of these dudes get a little bit loose in the dome piece. You know what I mean? Blair Cobbs is under Golden Boy and paints his nails black. That's what made me think of that. Yeah, Blair the Flair. I know who Blair the Flair is. I know who Blair the Flair. I know who Blair the Flair Cobb is. Yeah, he's out there talking that craziness. He's good. He's a decent fighter, but man, he be talking like he's kind of like a Raleigh Romero. Except for he's not talking bad about everybody else. He just talks about himself in the third person. Yeah, I know who he is. Giovanni Walker said, opinion on Colbert versus Stevenson. Stevenson will beat him. Stevenson will beat him. That's my take on it, man. But I would love for the fight to happen. I'm pushing for all these East Coast fighters to fight each other, man. Like, can we act like these dudes actually had what's going on? King Wild 44, man. Man, and much love in that super chat, Giovanni Walker, man. Thank you so much for the support. Yeah, man, I got Stevenson in that fight, but I would love to see it. But I got Gary Russell Jr. over Chris Colbert too. And so hopefully after he beats Gutierrez, after Colbert beats Gutierrez, we can get a fight between Stevenson and he, man. And that doesn't get passed over. But like I said, I did my video on it. I'm doing my part to try to get the fights made. You know what I mean? I'm gonna probably do a Devin Haney. I've been holding back on the Devin Haney. Shakur Stevenson video because I don't want to hurt too many Devin Haney. I don't want to hurt too many Devin Haney fans' feelings, man. Seriously, man, y'all got a dude y'all really proud of, really coming up. You know what I mean? Got all these dudes ducking them. Just for me to turn around and tell y'all that little dude in the weight class below about to do him, dog. No, man. No. I'm telling you, no. I can't see that turn out any other way. Fahim Sator said, blasphemy, my behind, dog. Do not tell me that dude is that Floyd Mayweather Jr. don't got no clear nail polish on his nails. I don't believe it. You're going to have to show me. I mean, I'm serious, man. He'd have to make a public statement before I believe he don't do that. All the money he spends on Gucci bags and Versace bags, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm telling you, I know dudes that get manicures on a consistent basis. Every dude that I know that gets manicures and pedicures on a consistent basis at some point in time gets asked about that nail polish, and then women put that nail polish on your nails. Okay? It's clear, so they're like, it's not like colored and all that, but it's shiny. It's shiny and it gives your nails a finish to it. I'm telling you. I'm trying to tell you, man. Back in the day when I used to spend the money on manicures and pedicures, I know what they doing out there, dog. And your boy got that nail polish, all right? And I don't care what you say. Any of them dudes, I would say probably Canelo too. Probably Canelo too. Any of them dudes acting overly, any of them fighters that look like they're getting overly groomed, any super groomed fighter, that's part of the package. I'm telling you. But you can like it, Fahim. You may not like it, but I'm telling you, man. It's part of the package, dog. 50 Band said, nah, he gets them buff, no clear polish, King. Yeah, okay. All right. If you say, so if you know him, cool. But you know, dog, you know. Nah, Floyd ain't in no closet, man. Floyd in the opposite Floyd got the opposite problem. Floyd just violent. All right. Now you can say what you want, but Floyd will smack a chick. All right. That's Floyd's problem. All right. I'll tell you the only problem I get. That's the only real only problem Floyd really got. And you cannot tell me he won't do it. Floyd will slap a chick. There's a bunch of men out there that will slap women. If they get in an argument, they will turn around and slap them. And you know there's a bunch of dudes. And generally speaking, you know the type of dude to do it. And Floyd will spin a chick's head, dog. Ain't no doubt about it, dog. Unless now they got him under control and he don't want to do it to lose his money. But everything about that dude says spin a chick's head in a circle. And I'm telling you, certain dudes just got that look, man, and they will do it. Buffing is the new thing, Fannon. All right, man, buffing. Buffing been around. Buffing is followed by clear nail polish. I know what buffing is. That ain't new. Okay. Buffing your nails. That ain't nothing new about buffing your nails, dog. Hey, man, Ride a Prophet B1 said, blessings, King, support B1. Yes, sir, man. Thank you, man, so much for the support in that super chat, man. All right, man. Thank you for sponsoring my day off one of these days. Oh, man. Viva 2 Vita said, blessings, King. Oh, no. Yeah, that's my Viva 2 Vita. Where'd it go? Man, Virgil Ortiz versus Errol Spence. Right now, I'm taking Errol Spence. All right, I'm taking Errol Spence out of respect until I see Jaron Ennis whoop somebody like a Danny Garcia, your Danny's Ugas. Till I see him on that level, I'm not going to pick him to beat Errol Spence. And I'm not going to pick him to beat Terence Crawford out of respect. You know what I'm saying? Out of respect. Hey, Justin Rigo said Hardener. Man, clear nail polish. Do not lie. Not to you. I'm not telling you not to lie. But clear nail polish, man, you better believe it. Okay? Man, them dudes. Anyway, man, you know what it is, man. King Stone said Floyd already had domestic violence rap. Hey, look, man, I knew that beforehand. I knew that about Floyd beforehand. Well before that, dog. I'm telling you, man. Little niggas, specifically. Telling you. Little ones, this is the type of dude that would typically, now there's some other dudes that'll do it, but these type of dudes, telling you. Ghetto dudes around the height of 5'6". Between the height of 5'5" and 5'9". Them little Napoleonic dudes, man, you gotta watch them little Napoleonic dudes, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. He said, little niggas, man, funny for now. I'm just trying to tell you. Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to tell you. Them little niggas will spin your head, dog. Them girls' head, man. That's what I told my daughter too, man. I was like, look, do not get married to no dude under 5. Do not date nobody under 5'8". Okay? Because then you're going to start, if you're looking eye to eye with them, they may think you're a threat. If you looking eye to eye to them, nah, dog. Generally speaking, them big old dudes really don't hit nobody. You know what I'm saying? The real big ones, Real big ones don't really they really typically, I'm not saying don't never do it, but the real big ones, typically speaking, they ain't like that. They kind of sit back and chill. But them little ones that got picked on all their life. OGOB said, Marlon 5'6", leave us alone, man. All right, man, I'll leave you alone. You know I'm telling the truth, though. You know I'm telling the truth, man. They got the, hey, man, you know I ain't lying, though, dog, right? You know I ain't lying. It's because he little, man. Them little dudes. Michael Kirkland said, I don't respect no man that beats women. Yeah, man, it's hard. Yeah, man. Like, I mean, you lose a lot of respect from me out of that, dog. Unless, you with some crazy woman. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some crazy women that will start them fights. But honestly, man, if a woman feels like if you dealing with I wouldn't deal with that type of woman either, because she'll eventually cut you or something like that. Any woman they'll be like, she wants me to hit her. Yeah, because she gonna cut you one day. All right, yeah, right. Now she wants you to hit her. Sometime a couple months from now, she's gonna want you to catch a bullet. So no, I'm not messing with none of that violence in my house, dog. Any violence, because I ain't violent with no women. I ain't violent with men. Anyway, oh my God. Don't all the Mayweathers have domestic violence charges? I don't know, man. I know that that his father got accused. I don't want to get into that, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get into that. And who got domestic violence charges or not or whatever. All I'm saying is, man, I'm saying, yes, nah, she'll kill you. Yeah, man, nah, man, I ain't even, No. Violent women are really really worrisome, man. Heck no. Ain't dealing with that too much out the pocket? No. Yeah, she gonna pull out like a demon. Anyway. So if you have a woman put hands on you, so what would you do? I grab her hands. Grab her hands. It depends. But I'll tell you what happened. I will grab her hands, hold her hands, and ask her to stop. Please, just stop. And then if it calms down, which it happened in my instance, then I'll walk away and it'll never happen again, hopefully. But if somebody pulls me a knife out or something like that, I'm going to defend myself. You know what I'm saying? If she's slapping all on, trying to punch me and all that stuff, dude, I'm going to defend myself. But to a reasonable point, man. But I'm not talking about that, dog. All right? I'm not talking about some scenario where Clarissa Shields walks up onto me and starts throwing hands at me, okay? I'm going to defend myself from Clarissa Shields, okay? However, you know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about that, dog. I'm talking about dudes that'll be like, where's my donuts from the store? This is the wrong fit. And man, what did you say? Go back and get my guy. Pop. Stop talking back. That type of stuff. I'm talking about the stop talking back type niggas. I'm sorry, I mean to say that. The don't talk back or I'll slap you type of dudes. Got a whole bunch of them, dog. I ain't talking about none of that, okay? I ain't talking about none of that, okay? Don't pull me into trying to pull me over to some scenario where it's okay. I'm talking, you know what I'm talking about, dog. I'm talking about the ones that say the don't talk back or I'll knock the teeth out your mouth type dudes. And they got a bunch of those dudes, okay? Anyway, man, let's move on. Yeah. So Fannon getting whooped, man. Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Shyland. Fannon's getting whooped from women. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Get out of here, man. Woman beater. You got to get out of here, homie. You're a show fire when sounding like that, dog. Get out of here, man. Because I said I won't beat up a woman, that means women are running around beating up on me, dog. No, there are plenty of women in this world you can know you can know each other your entire life and never slap each other in the mouth, dog. Okay? That is very, 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 very possible, dog. Okay? And that's just what it is, dog. I'm not having no physical altercations with no women if I can avoid it. Now, you, on the other hand, go have a good time wherever you just got thrown out to go slap your girlfriend, do whatever you want to do, dog. You know what I'm saying? But you a real gump. You remember that saying back in the day, gump? You're a real gump. A real gump to be talking bad about a dude for saying that he don't slap women. That's another telltale sign of y'all dudes. Whenever a dude said, nah, man, I ain't slapping on no women, man, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? They be, oh, man, you soft. Man, whatever, dude. You an abuser is what the hell you are, dog. You know what I'm saying? You good bait for the criminal justice system, in my opinion. But anyway, let's get back, man. Adrian, Angry Brit said, I hope everybody having a great day. Hit that like button. Yeah, man. Absolutely, man. He said every woman gets sick after a while. Yeah, man. Man, come on, man. Ain't nobody, dude. Stop it, dude. Come on, man. Stop. I mean, stop. You know what I'm saying? Big homie Quill said his ass gonna be over at the jail. Exactly, man. Just man, get out of here, man. You don't try to make me. How you gonna try to make me feel bad because I don't want to? Because I just ain't willy nilly slapping women, man. Yeah, and there's dudes that are like that. You're like, man, you don't, man, go away from me, man. Like, dog, how about I slap you in the mouth? How about that? You know what I'm saying? How about I slap you if you get crazy? I'll slap you. How about that? But nah, why? Get out of my life, man. I like women. I don't know what man, I like women. I'm going to tell you straight up, I like them. I don't have a problem with women. I like women. I affirmatively like them. So I don't see, like in my mind, I don't think, oh, let me discipline her. Let me beat her up. That just doesn't click in my head like that, man. I got a great mama. I got sisters that I love. I got a wife. I got daughters. I'm sorry, man. And none of these relationships have ever come to me throwing blows with them. After the age of 12. Let me reframe that. After I got taller than them, which is why I'm telling you that you probably short. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, Copyright said, when my soft ass gets locked and you're slave for the system, y'all might learn something or two. What is that? When your ass gets locked and you're slave for the system, y'all might learn something or two. Hey man, I ain't call you soft. That ain't me. Curtis Sewell said, why are you so hard on Devin Haney fans? Dog, I'm hard on Devin Haney fans because Devin Haney fans are hard on me. That's why. That's why I'm hard on Devin Haney fans, man. I'm hard on Devin Haney fans for the same reason I'm hard on Anthony Joshua fans. Except for with the Devin Haney fans, it's generally love, man. Like I don't have any problem with Devin Haney fans, man. But there are certain there's certain fan bases in boxing that really and truly do go overboard, bro. They just go overboard with a lot of stuff. And Devin Haney fans go overboard, in my opinion. That's like it's too much, dog. It's too much. I know he's ducked, but come on, man. Not everybody in the world is ducking him, okay? And just because everybody's ducking him doesn't mean he's the best fighter in the world. That's all I've ever said about Devin Haney. He's a very, very good fighter. I can't wait to see him in the ring, and I can't wait to see him prove that he's a better fighter than the rest of these guys. That's it. And whenever I say that, oh no, Devin's he's gonna this, that, he's gonna this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, okay. Can we see this first? You know what I'm saying? Can we see this first? You know? But anyway, and plus, let me tell you something else. All of these dudes is getting on my nerves with that ducking stuff. Because it was like every day, you're ducking me, you're capped. This dude is capped. That dude is ducking. This dude is ducking. That guy is capped. Send me the contract. I'm like, man, first of all, dog, y'all ain't fighting. Okay? Like, take, for example, Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. Teofimo Lopez gets on my ever-loving nerves because he knows dang well he ain't fighting Devin Haney. He said it. He's going to 140. So what are you talking about the meetings that Devin Haney missed with Bob Arum, man? Just stand on your square and say, look, man, I'm not moving. I'm not moving. You know what I'm saying? I'm moving up to 140, dog. I'm not fighting you. I'm moving up to 140. Just say it. You know what I mean? And then everybody will be, oh, you're ducking your cap. You're ducking your cap. Okay. But I'm telling you, I'm going to 140 after this next fight. So if you want to fight me, yeah, come to 140 because I'm vacating these belts. You can fight for these belts. I'm going up there. I'm going to fight Josh Taylor. What's wrong with just saying that? It ain't like you're going to look bad because you're fighting Josh Taylor and not Devin Haney. Just tell the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're trying to do. And the same thing was with same thing with Gary Russell Jr. and Devin Haney. Just tell the truth, man. You got a fight scheduled. For December, whatever the date was. You got a fight scheduled. Okay, I know you got a fight scheduled. You got a fight scheduled. You're about to make the announcement. Don't act like this dude is the one that is being unreasonable. Dude, you the one with the fight that's already scheduled. It's a bunch of drama, dog. It's a bunch of promotion, bro. A lot of that is promotion. Some of it is legitimate. A lot of it is promotion, bro. A lot of it is just nothing but self-promotion. And it's cool, but it's just sometimes, man, y'all take that shit seriously and don't see, man, Devin Haney is the youngest promoter. And isn't he the youngest promoter? Right? He's the youngest promoter. And that's what he's doing. He's promoting, okay? Just like Bob Arum. So, dude, when I point out that Devin Haney is doing a Bob Arum, or he may be doing a Don King, or playing the role of Eddie Hearn, that's what he's doing. He's promoting himself, bro. Not everything them promoters say is true. Anyway, and it shouldn't be. Their job is to promote. Our job is to differentiate between the promotion and the fact. Wally the Scott Bay said, the hell wrong with these cats trying to make domestic violence cool? Dog, that's because they be slapping women. Telling you. Much love in that super chat, man. Hey, dog. You're just, man, look, let me tell you something, man. I'm just attracted to certain type of women. That is absolutely true, bro. But it's in my heart, dog. You can't tell me. You think I never got mad at a woman? Like, I've never been upset that she was going to, that my wife did something that I didn't want her to do, or a girlfriend did something that I didn't want her to do, or went somewhere that I didn't want her to go. Get out of here, man, all the time. My wife will do something all the time I may not want her to do because I want her to do something I want to do. The difference is I'm not going to slap her. That's all. Ain't no difference. In my mind, she makes me upset, and I think to myself, I'm not going to hit her. Why would I hit her? It doesn't, come on, man. It's just, no, don't make excuses for the fact that y'all, if you beat up on women, you beat up on women, man. Stand on it, okay? That's all I'm going to say. If you think it's okay to beat women up, then you think it's okay to beat women up. I just don't think it is. I don't know what else I can say, dude. I don't do that. I don't do it. I will not do it. Only thing I will ever do is if somebody attacks me, I'll defend myself. All right. But not because somebody's going to the grocery store, or because she left me for another dude or something, or she cheated. Even if she cheated on me, that she could literally cheat on me, I'm still not going to snatch her by the back of her hair and drag her through the house. For what? But anyway, that's how I think. It's not being attracted to this or that. It's I literally say, I'm not going to beat her up, man. Just stop. I train my son. Do not beat up on women. I don't care. Yeah, they'll make you mad or whatever. You're too strong. Don't put your hands on it. Don't do that. That's just how I was raised. Honestly, nobody even had to tell me that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody even had to tell me that. But whatever. Y'all do, you obviously going to do you. Anyway, Quincy Carter said, why not fight Dev for undisputed, then move to 140? Because he can lose. That's why, Quincy Carter, because he's ducking. That's why. Much love in that super chat, man. That's what. Because he's ducking. Like I said, man. Hey, mid-pride, let me see. Can I rank Shakur Loma? Good fight, I got Shakur. Yeah, Teofimo Lopez is ducking Devin Haney without a doubt. That's no doubt about it. He's ducking him. No doubt about it. 100%. He asked for the franchise belt. That's the duck right there. Okay, I don't need anybody to tell me or convince me of that. I can look at what's going on and I can tell you Teofimo Lopez is ducking Devin Haney. Without a doubt. No doubt about it. Ryan Garcia ducked Devin Haney for not taking that interim fight, and anybody that would win that interim fight and not try to fight Devin Haney is ducking Devin Haney. Without a doubt. See? I'm telling you, there's no biasness here. No biasness. Okay? I can give you multiple examples of people ducking Devin Haney. And he's an excellent fighter. However, and I don't have a problem with Devin Haney. It's his fans that get on my nerves. Some of his fans, not even all of his fans. Some of his fans get on my nerve, man. Because they take everything you say about Devin. If you don't say Devin Haney is the greatest fighter in boxing, and he is going to knock out, he's going to beat anybody in front, he's going to beat anybody in front of him, you're a hater. You're cap. You're a hater. And yeah, you come like kids, man. That's the only issue that I have ever had, dog. Because I was sitting there and on truth, I consider myself supporting Devin Haney. I done like 6 or 7 videos on Devin Haney. Nobody that asked me to do videos on Devin Haney. I supported Devin Haney the same way that I support Shakur Stevenson, the same way I support Jaron Ennis. I was like, this kid is a good fighter. Love his footwork. Love his work ethic. Like how, I mean, he's always kind of smart ass. A little bit of a smart ass. But whatever. He's a boxer. He's prideful. All of that stuff. But I like the kid. So I was doing videos of him, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, I get a bunch of people calling me a Devin Haney hater. I'm like, what? What did I hate? What? Because I'm not. What did I? Oh, I said one thing you didn't like or something. Oh, I probably said something like, I don't know if he can beat. I don't know if he can beat Jesus. Something like that. You know what I mean? I said something like, I don't know if he beat Jesus up. Oh man, Jesus ain't got no jab. Jesus ain't got no footwork. I mean, God, we all casual, just popped up off the boat ass, gotta be from somewhere in the Bay ass people, leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? With that nonsense. Anyway, I say, Adelie say, Asakar said, I'm a Haney fan, just stay away from Shakur, dog. Yeah, you gotta walk away from that stuff, man. Who is Jaron Ennis? Jaron Ennis? Did I say Innings? I said Ennis, didn't I? Anyway, that's the question about why am I so hard on Devin Haney. I'm so hard on Devin Haney just the way that I'm the same way I'm hard on AJ fans. Like, man, that is a good boxer. Stop tearing everybody down to build them up. That's the only thing that I ever had. He's a very, very good fighter. Please stop tearing everybody else down to build him up. That's it. You don't have to tear down people to build Devin Haney up. And that's the stance I still take. I don't have to tear down anybody. I don't have to. You bias for Gary over Devin. When Gary was ducking, Gary wasn't ducking. Jay, he wasn't ducking. I don't think he was ducking. I was in the negotiation. I read the contracts. I talked to every party, dude. I know what I think. I know why. I have a very, very solid reason for why I think. Did you talk to Gary Russell Jr.? Jay Broomfield. Did you talk to Gary Russell Jr.? Did you actually read the term sheet? Did you have the two of them on your channel with both of those guys talking? Did you talk to Bill Haney off the record? Did you hear the offers going back and forth between each other? I did. Guess what? Gary wasn't ducking. Gary wasn't ducking. Devin wasn't ducking. The fight just didn't work. The fight was not going to work. And I could tell early. You know why I could tell early? Because I did contract negotiations for a living, friend. And I could tell you early on that fight wasn't going to go. And the reason it wasn't going to go is, number one, Devin Haney had a certain amount of time to decide. Because he had a fight scheduled already with Yuriokas Gamboa. A fight that he eventually took. Number two, the contract that was going back and forth literally was a contract. It wasn't a term sheet. And unless any of you dudes went to law school, any of you guys have ever executed contracts for a living, unless that's your job, shut the fuck up talking to me. I read it. I know what that was. That was an executable contract that would have locked Gary Russell Jr. in without a date, without a time, nothing. And he would have been locked to it based on how it was written. So all of the back and forth with the paperwork combined with the time that Devin Haney had to make his mind up about fighting Yuriokas Gamboa not and missing out on $1 million payday, I told y'all early on the fight wasn't going to happen. Y'all bumped around. You dudes like you bumped around watching people's videos and all of these, what do you call them? Salacious videos about, oh, this dude, this man. Let me tell you something. 90% of the shit you heard was for views. And I ain't got no diss on Cat. I do videos for views. 90% of the stuff that you heard about that was for views. The fact of the matter is that Devin Haney only had a certain amount of time to get to an agreement in that fight because he had already negotiated a fight with Yuriokas Gamboa. Gary Russell Jr. had to, on his end of it, had to negotiate a fight with Al Heyman and get Al Heyman to talk to Matchroom. There wasn't enough time in that fight. And on top of it, Gary Russell Jr. never even asked to fight Devin Haney. Gary Russell Jr. is a 126-pounder was trying to fight Terence Crawford. I wasn't biased. What I didn't do, and I never said that Devin was ducking Gary or that Devin was cap. I never said a bad word about Devin. But what y'all did was some of y'all tried to run Gary Russell Jr.'s name in the mud to make your boy look good. And all I said is, man, pump your brakes, man. There's no reason to tear down Gary Russell Jr. to make Devin Haney look good. And that's all I ever said. I wasn't biased in behalf of anybody. There was no term sheet, dumbass. Jay Broomfield, there was never a term sheet. Never. There was never a term sheet. Ever. There was a contract, not a term sheet, a contract. And if you would like, I got it on my email. I've got it on this computer right here. It was a binding agreement, dumbass. It was not and I don't care how many people did videos about it. It was a binding contract. I was the one that suggested a term sheet, dummy. A term sheet is not binding. A term sheet only says where the fight's going to be, how much money you're going to pay. That was what they were supposed to agree to. Those two things. That was what's supposed to be on the term sheet. And it was not supposed to be binding. It was binding, and those two things were not on the contract. Stop. But anyway, I don't mind going back and busting y'all on that, Jay. You full of shit. You never read it, and all you're doing is dirting up another black fighter. And I'm not gonna sit here and claim that I'm gonna support black fighters and then watch a bunch of black folk tear down one black fighter over the other. So the other fighter looks like so he can get some moral victory in the press. Fuck out of my face, man. You don't know what you're talking about, James Broomfield. Get out of my chat. You don't know what you're talking about at all. Okay? You do not know what you're talking about. And you're out of here. Because I'm not talking about that no more. I know perfectly well what happened because I was there. And I read the contracts. I read them myself. I have a legal education. I wrote contracts for a living. That's what I know. And I know that that was not a term sheet. That is a binding contract with significant terms missing. Stop it. That was not that is what that was. But anyway, you keep on going, man. Keep on going, man. It's stupid. And there's nothing wrong with Devin Haney, man. Devin Haney's a good dude, a good fighter, man. But y'all want to crap on Gary Russell Jr. This man, how's he ducking a guy 2 weight classes up? Do you not listen to words? It's a contract. Dog, let me tell you what a contract is. It's an offer, it's acceptance, and it is consideration. And it is legally binding. A term sheet is a list of terms, specific terms that you will agree on before you enter into a full-fledged negotiation. Once a contract is binding, it's binding. Where you are responsible for something, it is no longer a term sheet. It is an executable contract. There is a difference. If you want to listen to a bunch of YouTube dudes and whether they didn't even know what a term sheet was 3 weeks before they started talking about it. And that's just real, okay? Just like I'm not going to sit up here and talk to Andre Ward about throwing left hooks and jabs, dog. Please don't sit up here and tell me that that was not a contract, because it was a contract. It was an executable contract, and that was not what was supposed to be sent. Now, there's a chance that maybe Devin Haney and those guys didn't understand the difference? Could have been. I don't know. I'm not saying the guy's a bad guy. But they didn't give him anything he could actually sign or that he should have signed. I saw it. Why would he sign that? There was literally nothing on it. But it was a blank. You know what it was? It was a blank check is what it was. He gave him a blank check. A blank check. You think boxing ain't crooked? You think people don't try to pull shit on fighters? You think these managers and promoters don't try to give fighters that they think are stupid pieces of paper to sign that will lock them down into things that they can't get out of? How many years have we seen that in boxing? Where a fighter be like, dang, I didn't have an attorney there. I didn't know what I was signing. let me assure you, that thing that was given to Gary Russell was one of those type of instruments. An instrument that if you had signed that, you would be locked. You'd be locked and you wouldn't have got anything specific out of it. Anything specific out of it. But okay. King Stone, I will call anybody a dummy that doesn't know what they're talking about and acts like they do. If you act like you know what you're talking about and you don't, you're dummy. That's the definition of it. You're crash test dummy. And I'm serious. I had more than enough conversations about that stupid topic. And I'm not going to, and again, I ain't selling out one black fighter for another black fighter. I'm not going to do it. And that was that whole conversation was very lopsided against Gary Russell Jr. And it was not fair in the least. But whatever, dog. Y'all keep thinking I'm some fanboy that is going to run anywhere somebody wants me to, with anything you want me to say, dog. That's not me. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you the straight truth. Devin Haney did not duck Gary Russell Jr. And Gary Russell did not duck Devin Haney. So when you're talking about all the who ducked Devin Haney, just keep it up there with the people that are actually ducking him. Keep it with Teofimo Lopez. Keep it with Ryan Garcia. If JoJo Diaz don't take the fight, keep it with JoJo Diaz. There are plenty of people that actually duck Devin Haney. For you to try to convince me, because trust me, I'm not going to your channel. I'm sitting here in my office, in my house, on my channel. Do not try to convince me that a guy who was at 126 pounds, who was trying to get a fight against Terence Crawford at 147, is ducking a guy he never said he wanted to fight to begin with. Devin called him out, and he's a 126 pounder. But somehow the 126 pounder that never wanted to fight the 140 pounder to begin with, who was trying to fight a 147 pounder, is ducking. Stop. Anyway, like I said, that's why I mess with Devin Haney fans. Not Devin Haney, because he's a promoter. That's what he's supposed to do. He got a lot of promotion out of that too. Anyway, he fought under her, man. He still fights under her. He still fights under. Devin Haney fights underneath for any practical purpose. He's a matchroom fighter. For any practical purpose, he's a matchroom fighter. When he does not fight on the matchroom card, let me know. Then I will say, okay, he's not a matchroom fighter. But if you fight on matchroom cards and you have your own promotional company, but you fight on matchroom cards exclusively, what is that? You might as well be considered a matchroom fighter. He fights with Eddie Hearn. If that fight to get done, Eddie Hearn and Al Heyman would have worked that fight out. That's my perspective on it. Y'all enjoy yourselves with the rest of that stuff. But please leave me alone. Like I've been telling people, just leave me alone with it. Because honestly, no joke, it irritates me. Because I sat there and watched that entire thing, man. That entire thing, dude. Kevin Faulkner said Gary need to fight more. Yeah, he need to fight more. Anyway. Said, man, you be getting these dumbass trolls. Man, dude, look, man, these ain't trolls. Some of these dudes ain't trolls. Some of these are boxing people that do this. I mean, just come on, man. Stop it with me. Go somewhere else with that. I don't go seek out y'all. I don't go seek you out. Don't seek me out for that. Kevin Faulkner said he would be more marketable if he fought. He is barely in the news. Fight a bum, just fight. Yeah, man, but I don't care if he's marketable or not, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the sake of it, dude, everybody knows who Gary Russell Jr. is. Everybody knows who Gary Russell Jr. is, man. Devin Haney ain't no better known than Gary Russell Jr. Just be real. Devin Haney ain't no better known than Gary Russell Jr. Shakur Stevenson ain't no better known than Gary Russell Jr. Shakur Stevenson ain't no better known than Devin Haney. All of these fighters are fighting. All of these guys, we all know. For all intents and purposes, we all know who all these fighters are. There are some guys that are coming up that are a little less known, like Shakur Stevenson, like Chris Colbert. Chris Colbert is not as well known within boxing circles. But dude, the only people that know who Devin Haney is are hardcore boxing fans. The only people for the most part that know who Ryan Garcia are hardcore boxing fans. Same thing goes for Teofimo Lopez. Same thing goes for Shakur Stevenson. Gervonta Davis is an exception. Gervonta Davis is branched out outside of hardcore boxing fans and has a footprint outside of hardcore boxing fans. But other than that, dude, none of these dudes are, look, man, none of these dudes are super well known. None of them. Except for Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Canelo Alvarez, Anthony Joshua, Errol Spence Jr., give me some other people. You know what I'm saying? Manny Pacquiao. That's it. That's why they say boxing's dying. You know what I'm saying? That's why they say boxing's dying, man. None of these guys are super well known outside of boxing. And we can, man, I want to see him fight. Seriously. And you get more, Crawford maybe. But seriously, Crawford. I think Crawford, but no, seriously, you know what? You can take Errol Spence Jr. and Crawford and pull them back in. I'm going to be like, for real, the ones that are really known outside of it are Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Canelo Alvarez, Manny Pacquiao just retired. Them. Those are the ones that are widely known outside of boxing. Inside of boxing, there are people that are known by all of boxing. Terence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr. Who else? Terence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr., Gervonta Davis. That's probably it. That's probably it. Teofimo Lopez. Maybe Teofimo Lopez since he beat Lomachenko. Sorry, Lomachenko. Lomachenko is known by everybody. Teofimo Lopez, because he beat Lomachenko, is known by everybody. I think Devin Haney now is known by everybody in boxing. Gary Russell Jr. is known by everybody in boxing. Not Caleb Plant, because they dogging Caleb Plant. Not Caleb Plant yet. But that's what I'm saying, man. All these guys are promoting themselves, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I say, I don't want to get into any person. I'm not attacking Devin Haney or Devin Haney's camp or any of that. I'm telling you, this is a fan conversation. We talk to each other as boxing fans. And y'all got on my nerves to the nth degree about that. I'm serious, man. I had never been attacked so much. More, I was attacked probably more over Devin Haney than I was over Anthony Joshua. Over something that was real. Getting attacked over something that's fake versus something that's actually real. And that's irritating. Because AJ's really ducking Deontay Wilder. That's really a big fight that could really happen. Devin Haney versus Gary Russell Jr. was never going to happen, bro. It was never going to happen. Sean Porter, maybe. Dr. Dre said, like Mike Tyson said, promoters are the pimps and the boxers are the bitches. Exactly, man. And it's like, man, look, and I'm sorry, I ain't getting pimped by no promoter, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, no way. Ain't no way. I am never going to get pimped by me. I am never going to get pimped by no promoter. That ain't going to happen. I ain't a fighter. You ain't paying me. You know what I'm saying? You ain't pimping me. Not happening, dog. And they trust me, they try to pimp you, homie. Fitty Bay, anyway, man, on to the next, man. Somebody asked me something that is good, something that is pleasant and loved. Reminders, too, I didn't see any super chats. Reminder, super chats, man. If I mess up super chats talking about that stupidity, hold on one second, man. Talking about that nonsense. My man B Easy said, continue supporting for the page. Are you going live tomorrow for the Showtime card? Yes, sir. I am. Much love in that super chat to my man B Easy in the building. Quincy Carter said, why not fight Dev for undisputed and move on? Because he's ducking. And then Wally Scott Bay said, what the hell wrong with these cats? Okay, cool. I got everybody else. Right. Okay, cool. I got everybody else. Sorry about that, Be Easy. Got you. Sorry, yeah, man. I was going in on one. Man, that shit ain't good for my health, bro. It was like, yeah, exactly, man. Like, please. Like I said, I'm not getting pimped by a promoter, dog. That ain't the kid. I'll do a whole lot of stuff. Get that Copper Urgent said Gary Russell is 126. Everyone else is 130 on up. Y'all get it now? No, they don't get it now. No, they don't. They think a guy fighting at featherweight will be ducking a guy at middleweight. No, there's a whole bunch of dudes that will believe anything thrown in their face. Seriously. They will believe anything that is said to them enough times. I'm telling you, man. Dad, bro, you say you still got what he said, bro. You still got what? What is that, man? Yeah, man. I'm sorry, man. I had to get up off that. I got to get up off that, man. That is just ridiculousness, man. So ask me a boxing question, man. Let me well away from that Gary Russell Jr. Devin Haney stuff. But I'm gonna hold that forever. Cause that is exact. Say PI pimp for nah, man. I ain't no pimp. But dude, I'm not, man, seriously, man. If somebody gonna pimp me, they're gonna be paying me a lot of money to pimp me. You know what I mean? Cause dog, not to play stupid. At the expense of a fighter that I want to see fight over something that's stupid, over a fight that was never even gonna happen. I mean, that fight was never gonna happen, man. Never gonna happen. You know, Riley sucks, man. Kevin Faulkner said, who would you set up for Steven's next fight? Honestly, if I could, his next fight, I would give him Oscar Valdez. If I could give him a fight, I'd give him Oscar Valdez. That I would see, because I just don't think he's going to get Oscar Valdez. But if Shakur Stevenson, if I could give him a fight, I would definitely give him Oscar Valdez. Because why not? He deserves a birthday present. Because, man, he's going to eat Oscar Valdez alive, dog. You know what I mean? He said everyone and everything and everyone has a price. Nah, dog. Not true. Nature ain't got no price. I'm going to tell you right now, man. Heck no, man. You know what I mean? He said, Donnie 1940 said, you still got me. You not lying. I remember. Exactly, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. Much love in the super chat, man. Exactly, bro. Appreciate you, man. Like, man, God dog, man. Leave me alone. Leave me alone with all of that, man. It's this, man. Hold on. That's my business email right there. King Stone said, Fannon, Hector Macho Camacho would have torched all these young guys. At lightweight, it would have been a good fight. I don't know if he would have torched everybody. I think that he didn't have the most punching power either, man. But I liked Hector Camacho, man. He was entertaining. Hector the Macho man. FSU OKC said, do you think Devin could beat Antoine Russell? I don't know. Man. That looks like a what and what fight to me. But see, look, Gary Antoine Russell, let him get some fights, man. You know, I'm like I don't want to do that until I see him. Like, let him get to 20 fights. Let him get to 16, 17 fights. When he gets to 16, 17 fights, then I'll be able to tell and be able to say it confidently. You know what I mean? Like right now, I would say, yeah, I think that would be let me put it this way. That would be a very hard fight for Devin Haney. Because Gary Antoine Russell is very precise, very smart, very well trained, very well schooled. And you know he's seen stuff in the ring that is just as good as let me put it this way. Devin Haney's not going to be a surprise to Gary Antoine Russell. That level, Gary Antoine Russell fights at that level because everybody in his family fights at that level. You know what I mean? Gary Russell Jr. is that level of fighter. Easily that level of fighter. His little brother is that level, looks like he's that level of fighter. His amateur pedigree is outstanding, like everybody says. You know, What Boots is Network fighting on? He's fighting on Showtime. On Showtime. So, I don't know. El Santiel said Devin beats Gary Russell. Beats which Russell? Antoine Russell? He got to get up to his weight class first. He got to get up there. Donnie 1954 said 1954 means maturity, reason, and logic. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. Very important tools in this world, man. Okay. Maybe. He's a 140 pounder, and you're talking about he's going to beat the featherweight champ. So what? Gary Russell Jr. is a featherweight. He's a 126 pound fighter. And on top of it, he's a small 126 pound fighter. Devin Haney is a 135 pound fighter, and he's a big 135 pounder. So what? And I truly mean to ask that question to you. Not in a bad manner, not in an insulting way. But I'm seriously asking you, so what? Do you think Gary, let me ask you a question. Is Devin Haney going to beat Oscar? Is he going to beat Navrati? I'm probably killing his name. Is he going to beat Navrati? Do you think Gary Russell, let me ask you something. If Devin Haney called out Navrati and Navrati didn't fight him, would Navrati be ducking him? Would he? Devin Haney's a 140 pounder, right? If Jermell Charlo called out Devin Haney right now and said, I got $1.5 million for you, Devin. I want you to fight me in my next fight. I'm going to send you an offer letter. He'd be ducking. No, hey, Elisanti. See, I knew you were going to say that about Navrati, but let me put it on Devin. What if Jermell Charlo called him out? What if Jermell called him out? Jermell said, look, man, I got an open date. Nobody will be fighting you. I got $3 million for you, Devin, to fight me for all three of my belts at 154 pounds. Yeah, so now you're a hypocrite. Thank you very much, Asante L. You're a hypocrite. You're being a hypocrite. Devin Haney is 2 weight classes above Gary Russell Jr. Jermell Charlo is 2 weight classes above Devin Haney. It's literally the same thing. It's literally the same thing. Why would you give Devin Haney a break, but you won't give Gary Russell Jr. or Navrati a break? That's why they don't. I'm gonna tell you right now. That's why they don't like me. Right there. That's why you don't like me. Because that's bull. And you know it's bull if you're being honest. A man 2 weight classes down below you cannot duck you. No, I don't misunderstand. You have a man that is a 140 he is the 135 WBC champion. The weight class below that is 130. That's 1 weight class. The weight class below that is 126. You have the WBC champion. Listen to this. You have the WBC champion from 140 pounds calling out the 126 pound WBC champion. That, my friend, is 2 weight classes. Jermell Charlo is the WBC champion at 154 pounds. 2 weight classes below that. I'm sorry. I got to be fair. That's 3 weight classes. Change it to Errol Spence. Nah, let me change it. You're right. Because if Errol Spence Jr. called out Devin Haney and Devin Haney said no, is he ducking? It's the same thing. The 147 pound WBC champion, 126 versus 1. 126. It's 126 versus 140 and 135 and 135 versus 147. Man, he wouldn't be ducking. They're not in the same weight class, man. It's just obvious. He's not in the same weight class. They don't fight in the same weight class. It's not ducking. It's not ducking. But that's why I say you're not honest, you're not real, dog. Seriously, you're not being real, you're not being fair, you're being biased. That is the definition of biased right there. Not what these cornballs say. Not what these cornballs say, getting on everybody about this, that, and the other thing. That is bias, Elisanti. That is bias. When you have a different set of rules for one guy than you got for somebody else, that is biased. Without a doubt. That is definitely biased. Quincy Carter said, Gary called out Bud. That's what makes a difference. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Absolutely it doesn't. Why does it make... Gary wouldn't have been ducking Bud if Bud didn't take the fight. If Gary could call out Muhammad Ali, if Gary called out, that doesn't make it a duck. Man, how does that make the difference? Dude, if you can explain how that makes a difference, then okay. How does that make a difference? Because Gary Russell Jr. had a personal issue with Terence Crawford and wanted to fight Terence Crawford. He wasn't ducking Terence Crawford if Terence Crawford called him out. And guess what? If Devin Haney could call out Errol Spence Jr., that ain't ducking if they don't fight. That's somebody trying to do something exceptional, man. Anyway, man, y'all seriously, that's the word right there. But he ain't dumb. Y'all need to stop that, man, trying to tear down that dude, man. Seriously, it's just not, you're just wrong, okay? Anyway, would Dev say, I'm going to beat your ass shortly? Look, man, when you call somebody out, they're all going to say something. But let me ask you a question. Was Terence Crawford ducking Gary Russell Jr. when Gary Russell Jr. called him out and he laughed at it? No, he didn't duck him. He didn't have any, there was no reason for him to take the fight, man. Gary capping, being macho, like I said, logic. Gapping about what? He never said he wanted to fight Devin Haney. Anyway, man, I'm done with that. Y'all go ahead and do that if y'all want to do that. Thank you very much for the super chat, man. I read the contract. Gary's all cap. You know damn well he not fighting Bud. No, I don't believe he was fighting Bud. No, I don't. No, I do not believe he was fighting Bud. I don't believe, but see, here you go, getting caught again. Here you go, getting caught again. No, I do not think Gary Russell Jr. was going to fight Bud. I don't. Just like I didn't think Devin was going to fight Gary because he had a fight already. That's not difficult, but yet, no, I did not believe that fight was ever going to happen. No, it was talk. Gary Russell Jr. was definitely, in my opinion, was promoting himself, was definitely had a problem with Terence Crawford, was talking shit about Terence Crawford, and was going back and forth with Terence Crawford in the media. Do I think he was serious about fighting Terence Crawford and that fight was going to happen? No, I do not. Do I think Gary Russell Jr. could beat Terence Crawford? No, I do not. Absolutely not. If you want to call that cap, call that cap. If that's what you mean. Okay, cool. I don't have a problem with that. I never took that seriously. Not for a minute, dog. Not for a second. Like I don't take a lot of stuff seriously. Like I don't take Teofimo Lopez saying that he's going to fight Devin Haney seriously. Don't take it seriously at all. Anyway. But much love in that super chat. Love the debate, man. He said Gary too small for 140, man. Gary's too small, dude. Quite honestly, Gary looked too small for 126. He don't just look too small for 135 and 140. DJ Air Alert said, you sound riled up for 9, top of the morning. Yeah, man, I'm riled up about that stupid conversation, man. Man, yes, I was, dog. Very riled up about that nonsense, man. And I'm about to decrease it now. Yeah, I was riled up about that, man. I had never heard some man. I was like, man, leave me alone about this nonsense. First of all, it's my opinion. Y'all don't have to. You don't have to talk about it with me. Anyway, Kevin Faulkner said these dudes go too hard for fighters. The ride or die culture just does too much. 2 weight class separation is not a duck. Dude, it's obviously not a duck. You know what I'm saying? It's obviously not a duck. Donnie said, that's what I was saying. It's self-promotion being macho. Yeah, absolutely. Much love, Donnie. Yeah, I got you on that. You 100% right about that. On the Terence Crawford, for sure. That's for sure, I believe. It's self-promotion. Absolutely. Getting his name out there, doing this, talking about that. Yeah, exactly, man. No doubt about it, man. Freddie Jimenez said, you have uneducated people in the chat comes with boxing. Jose Ray said, that must be Colombian coffee. It is a dark roast. Yeah, it is. But I'm hyperactive naturally, man. I had 1 cup of coffee. That ain't even a lot. That ain't a lot for me, man. That ain't even a lot for me. Brian Nelson says, so what? Power said, Gary Hands rated E for everybody. Yeah, man, like, dude, that's Gary Russell Jr. needs to be fighting Navrati. He needs to be fighting guys like, the guys that are down at his weight class, guys that are his size. And he just been getting ducked for so daggone long, man. The dude is trying to get a fight. He got a dude just trying to get a fight, man. But anyway, I don't want to talk about Gary's fighting Mark Magsayo next. Boxing band 50 Band said boxing needs a system like the UFC where the best fights the best and less talk. Yeah, we need less belts, man. We really need less belts and less posturing. I think my thing is less posturing. There's a lot of posturing. But I don't have a problem with the fighters. I want to be very clear. And I know this may be hard for y'all. I don't have a problem with anything Gary Russell Jr. has done. I don't have a problem with anything Devin Haney has done. I don't have a problem with it. I know what it is. I appreciate it. Quincy Carter said it's a duck when you just called on a guy 4 weight classes above. It's not ducking the guy 484. It's not ducking the guy, Quincy. It is not. Gary Russell Jr. was not ducking Terence Crawford. Okay, we're going to do a simple syllogism here. Gary Russell Jr. called him out in an obvious self-promotion. He didn't duck him. So if he didn't duck Terence Crawford, why is he ducking Devin Haney? Why is he ducking the other guy? He didn't duck Terence Crawford. He called Terence Crawford out. Let's extend it. Let's extend it and say Gary Russell Jr. called out Deontay Wilder. Does that mean if Terence Crawford calls him out that he's ducking Terence Crawford? Because he said, hey, man, you said you could fight a heavyweight. I'm only a middleweight. I'm only a welterweight. Does that mean he's ducking him? Let's look at the definition of duck, Quincy. Duck is you ducking something. Like, watch this. If somebody throws something at me, I duck it. In boxing, there's only a couple ways you can duck. If you have a mandatory you have a mandatory fighter in your weight class that you refuse to fight. In your weight class. That is a duck. If you have somebody that you're not a champion and you have somebody that's calling you out consistently and you refuse to fight them in your weight class, that is a duck. Errol Spence Jr. is not ducking Jamal Charlo because he has not fought Jamal Charlo at 160. Errol Spence Jr. is not ducking Teofimo Lopez if he does not fight Teofimo Lopez does not fight a 135 pounder. You have to be avoiding something. Teofimo Lopez is ducking Devin Haney because they are in the same weight class and he actually has a responsibility to fight the guy. Devin Haney, Gary Russell Jr. does not have any responsibility to fight a guy 2 weight classes above him. There's no responsibility there. If there's no responsibility to fight him, how can he be ducking his responsibility? Think about it. That's like somebody saying, you didn't make my bed and you live in another house. It wasn't my responsibility to make your bed. Loma ducked Devin Haney, they're in the same weight class. Devin was in the same weight class as Lomachenko. Lomachenko, he was the mandatory. Lomachenko was the champion. Lomachenko got franchised. He ducked the responsibility to fight Devin Haney. There was no responsibility on the part of Gary Russell Jr. to fight Devin Haney. How can that be a duck? What is he ducking? He didn't duck a mandatory obligation. He didn't duck a top contender in his weight class. You're saying he ducked him by not dropping his belt, going up 2 weight classes. Most fighters never do that. And there you go, there's another one. You never have a responsibility to move up a weight class. Ever. Boxers can stay at their weight class their entire career. Bernard Hopkins was not ducking Joe Calzaghe when he stayed at 160. He was a champion at 160. He was defending his title. Gary Russell Jr. is still at 126 and he's about to defend his title. That's not a duck. You may say he's cap, but he ain't duck. That's not a duck. And I'm just mean that logically, man, using the definition of the word. And a much respect in that super chat, man. And I'm glad we can talk in a brotherly fashion. Should Boots move up to 154 to get a belt quicker? Much love in that super chat. No, because he won't get it any quicker. It'll be a slower. If he goes up now, it'll be slower for him. Because he's already ranked in the top. He's ranked in the top 10 by everybody at 147. And more than likely, he's gonna get hit if he knocks out Thomas Delorme, his rating's gonna go up, and he might become the number 1, number 2 in one of those weight divisions. I would think that the best option probably would be he's maybe the IBF. I don't know what he's in the IBF. I'd have to check what he's in the IBF, but he's got his best chance at a mandatory to be the second to next mandatory in the IBF. Or maybe the WBC, yeah, because he's got the shortest weight in the WBC. Because the WBC mandatory was just done, not the IBF. And the WBO mandatory is now. He could be the mandatory, so it could take him a year for the next mandatory shot for the WBO. His best shot is to get a shot at the championship is to get mandatory. That's what I think. Yeah, I mean, seriously, man, y'all got to think about the word, and that's no problem, man. Just no disrespect. I don't mean any disrespect to anybody. But, man, people throw around the word ducking very, very, very loosely. And that's not a duck, man. You know what I mean? It's because he never called him out. Devin Haney called him out. To boot. Devin Haney called him out. Devin Haney called out the 126-pounder. The 126-pounder did not call him out. And just because somebody calls you out does not mean you got the obligation to fight him. You know what I mean? If Deontay Wilder calls out Canelo Alvarez, that's not a duck. Oh, that's a good example. Andre Ward said he would be, and you knew this was bad looking for a bad look for Anthony Joshua. Andre Ward said he would come out of retirement to fight Anthony Joshua. Right? If Deontay Wilder had called him out, that does not mean that that's a duck, you know? Angry Britt said, Fannon is articulate ASO. Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, you know, it is what it is, man. We all got our talents. Man. And seriously, man, I don't like that, man. I don't want to see black fighters thrown under the bus, man. You know what I mean? Over nothing. If you're going to get thrown, let me say, if a black fighter, and this is where y'all going to say I'm not completely racist, like y'all say, like these other dudes say, if you're going to throw a black fighter under the bus, let it be for something real. You know what I mean? Like if Jarrell Big Baby Miller don't get another fight at the championship, it's for something real. He tested positive for everything under the sun. You know what I mean? I'm not going to throw him I wouldn't throw him under the bus just for nothing. You know what I mean? and run his name down and all that stuff for nothing. And that's what was going on with Giz. A lot of running down people's name for nothing. You know what I mean? Dante Earl, I got to get off this Gary Russell Jr. conversation, man. Honestly, I really don't anymore. I used to try to walk around it more than I do now. Yeah, Rich does say, yeah, you racist. Exactly, man. Jason Page said, Fannon, do you think Jaron Ennis can be the next Floyd in terms of skill? Yeah, I do. Him or Shakur Stevenson? Well, they're never going to be Floyd because Floyd is Floyd. But as far as the next really great fighter, yeah, absolutely. I think Jaron Ennis could be it. I think Shakur Stevenson. Those are the guys that I look at that I'm like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, wow. Because they are, not only are they very, very skilled, they're very, very athletically gifted. Now, you could have other guys that are out there like Gary Antoine Russell. Gary Antoine Russell may be the next Bernard Hopkins. So, you don't need that. We don't need to be looking exclusively for the next Floyd Mayweather Jr. I'm also looking for the next Bernard Hopkins, right? Of that type, Bernard Hopkins' career, because he didn't make the money that Floyd made, doesn't mean that his career was not as nice, dog. Okay, because in the ring, aside from all the accolades, in the ring, I like Bernard Hopkins' career just as much. I love Bernard Hopkins. And matter of fact, just as many good fights. The fact that the dude could fight all the way till he's 50 years old, the work he's putting on them boys. Yeah, man, I'm a big Bernard Hopkins' career grew on me over time, man. That dude was a beast, man. You know what I mean? An absolute beast, man. Copper Aborigine said, Big Baby Miller is a poster child. Where'd it happen? To be thrown under the bus, it's his own fault. Yeah, that's when you throw somebody under the bus, man. I mean, y'all, man, people's really doing real damage to the dude over that stuff, man. You know what I mean? Triple Beam Dreams. Are you serious? I'm dead serious. You can't tell me what I enjoy, Triple Beam Dream. You can't tell me what I enjoy. I'm telling you what I enjoyed. I saw Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s career the whole time. I saw Bernard Hopkins' career the whole time. And I'm telling you, I enjoyed Bernard Hopkins' career just as much as I enjoyed Floyd Mayweather's career. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I got to see him fight Roy Jones Jr. I got to see him fight Tito Trinidad. I got to see him fight Oscar De La Hoya. I got to see him fight Jermaine Taylor. I got to see him fight Kelly Pavlik. I got to see him fight, even got to see him in his old age, fight Sergey Kovalev. There's nothing wrong with saying with what I said. I loved Bernard Hopkins' career. He had a great career, man. An outstanding career. There ain't nothing wrong with that. I enjoyed his career. And I did. Whenever he was on TV, I watched. From my perspective, I watched just as many enjoyed Bernard Hopkins fights, and the actual fights just as good. Just as good. And on the real, in a lot of ways, just as good a fighter. Just as good a fighter, man. Just as good a fighter. In my opinion, I think Bernard Hopkins is just as good a fighter. But I know that's unpopular to say. That's unpopular to say. The only thing that I missed from Bernard Hopkins is I didn't get to see Bernard Hopkins, James Toney. I even saw Bernard Hopkins beat up Antonio Tarver. Bernard Hopkins had a great career, man. Great career, man. Don't lunch on great careers. Like, let me tell you who's having great careers. Errol Spence Jr. is having a great career. Terence Crawford is having a great career. I'm loving his career, man. And especially since he's this latter part, it can get better. But he had a great career. I've enjoyed Adrian Bronner's career. I've enjoyed it. Gervonta Davis, I'm enjoying his career. I've enjoyed Sean Porter's career. I've enjoyed Anthony Joshua's career. I've enjoyed Tyson Fury's career. I've enjoyed Deontay Wilder's career. I've enjoyed Canelo Alvarez's career. There's a lot of guys whose career that I've really enjoyed because they've been in good. Oh man, I loved Andre Ward's career. Oh man, Andre Ward's career was, man, is like that. Absolutely like that, dog. Loved Andre Ward's career. Every minute of that, man, I loved his career. Even when he got knocked down by Darnell Boone. Mario Cruz said, when he beat Kelly Pavlik, I was super impressed. Yeah, dude, the time when I was like, oh man, this dude is real, was when it was in the loss. Because I was ringside, man. I was ringside for Bernard Hopkins. I was ringside for Bernard Hopkins versus Jermaine Taylor. And I'm telling you, man, Jermaine Taylor won that fight, but he paid a heavy cost to win that fight. Man, I swear, man, it looked like Bernard Hopkins was hitting him upside the head with sledgehammers. Because I was like, oh, and I remember it was a left hook. He kept hitting him with his left hook, man. Oh my God, man. He ruined Jermaine Taylor, bro. He ruined Jermaine Taylor. Ruined him. And he said it after the fight. Like he said it later. He's like, I ruined him. He's like, yeah, he won the fight. He'll never be the same. I'm like, nah, dog. And then he was never the same after that. Never the same. Even in the same, I think he may even got him a second time. Never the same, bro. Never the same. Or it might have been the second fight he did that to him. It was either the first or the second fight where Bernard, I'm telling you, Bernard Hopkins hurt that boy, man. He really, really hurt that boy. Man, it was nasty. Man, it was nasty. My man Robert Jaramillo said, salute for 9. Who you rolling with? Shakur, Colbert? I take Colbert, underrated in my opinion. I got to go with Shakur, man. I got to go with the more surefire thing, man. I got to go with the cat. I got to go with the cat with the more well-rounded skill set. I got to go with Shakur. And I don't know, man, because I think, like I said, man, Chris Colbert reminds me of Kasim Uma. A very, very talented fighter, like a very talented fighter. Very talented. Shakur Stevenson seems to be extraordinarily well schooled. He's a better boxer than Shakur Stevenson than Chris Colbert is. Chris Colbert looked like an extremely like a street fighter, man. He looked like he's somebody in the street that'll beat the brakes off you. Very fast hands, great reflexes, wants to mix it in, all of that. But I don't know what he's going to do with a cat that is as fundamentally sound as Shakur Stevenson. But I definitely give him whoopings over everybody else. And he's going to go to war, dog. Like, he's the type of cat, man, that I would love seeing him fight Mexican fighters. Right? Shakur's, he is made to beat Mexican fighters. Because he's going to go in there just like the Mexican fighter goes, man. Like Leo Santa Cruz was talking about Shakur Stevenson and saying, if Shakur Stevenson, fought more like a Mexican fighter, like more like just going all out for it, that he would be a perfect fighter because they like that style of fight. That's kind of what I think about Chris Colbert. Chris Colbert got them hands. He's going to try to put them hands on you. He doesn't mind you hitting him every once in a while. Very, very quick, all of that good stuff. But I think he may not have the fundamentals to deal with Shakur Stevenson. You know what I mean? That's kind of what went. Yeah. See, let me go down. Yeah, it says Shakur style is perfect. I like it a lot, man. No doubt, man. Martin, what's up? Big love from Cleveland. What's going on, Bevo Boxing in the building, man? What's going on, Bevo? Mexicutions. Let me read something from Mexicutions TMT. Mayweather versus Hatton was electricity, was fire. Yeah, that was a great fight, man. Now I'm gonna lie, I love Floyd Mayweather's career too. Great career, man. Absolutely great career, man. Great career. There's certain fight like Adrian Broner's career. Yeah, I've liked it because I can't say, man, it's a little bit of a disappointment, man. But he still, no matter what happens, he still gives people good fights. So he never, like with Adrian Broner, you never have to worry about there being a good fight, man. You never got to worry about it. Oh, man, I'm so glad we off that danged up Devin Haney conversation. Benchmark, so that's not for me. I'm sorry. Are you kidding? Mayweather versus Hatton was a mismatch. Oh, it was fun, though. It was a fun mismatch. Dog, he got knocked out. His head bopped up against a turnbuckle, man. Boom, boom. This shit was great. I love that fight, man. I love that fight. That was a good fight. While it lasted, you know what I'm saying? Ricky Hatton wasn't playing. He was trying to come forward. He just got picked apart and eventually knocked all the way knocked out, dog. I love that fight because that was one of the first time. It was the first time in a long line of UK fighters having to eat that crow, that fresh served country fried crow. You know that's how we do for the UK, dog. Hey man, Terry Schmoot, dog, stop it. Terry Schmoot trying to get me. You ain't getting me on that one, dog. That shit's underneath my skin, all of that, dog. Two black men fighting for no good reason, knowing damn well them boys wasn't fighting. Knowing dang well them boys were not about to fight. Anyway, that's like, man, like people trying to convince me that I need to be talking about Shakur Stevens and Oscar Valdez. Like, man, I am not talking for nothing, okay? Ain't happening. Cats wanted me to talk about, hey, man, you need to call for Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury 4. No, I do not, okay? Man, you need to do videos on the slow count. No, I do not, okay? Hey, man, you know you my dude, Terry Schmoot. I see you coming, though, dog. You ain't gonna get me. You ain't gonna get me, man. Hey, y'all messing with my blood pressure, man. I got blood pressure medicine because y'all. With that one. Seriously, man. I don't know. Hey, seriously though. At least y'all ain't talking about calling me a sissy because I won't slap women. Oh my God, man. Woo. That should be killing me, man. Anyway, like, hold on, let me get this right. I'm a punk. Because I won't slap somebody that outside of holding a weapon can't defend themselves. Okay, man. You know, all right, man. I'll see you later. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, he who agrees with fire in the building. Said for 9, the guy that will give Shakur problems no one is talking about because he's in the class after Haney, and that is Keyshawn Davis will be Shakur's biggest rival. Hey, man, I haven't seen enough of Keyshawn Davis. But I will tell you this about Keyshawn Davis. He looked mighty perplexed in the finals of the Olympic finals. He looked completely and utterly perplexed by that guy. So I just got to see more out of Keyshawn Davis. Again, but that's no different. That's literally no different than what I was saying about Shakur Stevenson. I got to see something out of him. I wasn't, was not on Shakur bandwagon early on, dog. Doug Bolton said, I love it. I love it when your stream has that barbershop vibe. Yeah, man, but it costs me. Hey, let me tell you something, man. Arguing about that dang Devin Haney, Gary Russell Jr. fight. I want to shut down the barbershop because don't nobody support the channel during none of that. I'm telling you. Because nobody care about that shit, man. But man, that's all we do on this channel, man. I talk out of the comment section, man, and I have a lot of fun, dog. You know what I mean? Smooth Groove Boxing said, I'd never slap a woman, but I damn sure would choke her as choker. But dog, they asking for that. Much love in the super chat, man. My mama watches this chat, so I can't make any comments like that, dog. My mama watches this chat. Hey man, look, let me say something, man. Ain't nothing wrong with being a casual boxing fan. Okay? I would like to get people away from that term if possible. Ain't nothing wrong with being a cat. It's all relative, dog. It's all relative. We're all learning in the sport, man. We're all learning in the sport. I'm telling you, man, I learn every day. Because as I watch so much boxing. I learn every day, man. I learn every day. And honestly, man, I learned a lot. I learned a lot this year. I learned like the last 2 years, which is why I'm telling you. Y'all ain't gonna like Shakur versus your favorite fighter. You're not gonna like. All right. I did not listen to Andre Ward about something, or let me put it this way. I really did not want. Hey, what do you think about Fulton going up in weight? I don't know, man. He got to get past Brandon Figueroa. I want him to stay where he is. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? I want to see him stay where he is. Please stay where you are, because dominate that division, man. Wait for Monster Inoue to move up so that man ain't got no choice but to fight you. Because I think he'll beat Monster Inoue. I'm hoping. I don't want Steve Fulton to move up. Please stay right where you are. Please stay right where you are. And so at the very least, I can call him a duck. I can start talking about ducking. Real ducking. What happened to Rigondeaux, where everybody goes to the weight class, fights for a bunch of belts, where when he's there in the champ, won't fight and moves up. Seriously, man. That is ducking. Gary Russell Jr. gets ducked. Guillermo Rigondeaux got ducked. That's major ducking there. Real ducking. You know what I mean? These guys ain't. Okay, I never seen these guys scared, man. He said, "Yeah, I'm guilty of." Man, will y'all stop? Man, will y'all please stop with that, man? Stop. All righty, man. Joe Petty, man. What's going on, Joe Petty in the building? He said, Ennis gets his first strap first quarter 2022 for sure. I hope so, man. Bevo said, Boots is number 6 in the WBC. I hope he learns some more before he gets beat up by Spence. Man, I don't think that fight's going to happen. I don't think that fight's going to happen. And I'll tell you why. Because ain't none of those champs going to fight. Let me put it this way. If Errol Spence Jr. fought Jaron Ennis instead of giving Terence Crawford 50-50 and making that fight, I'd say that's not a smart move. That's not a smart move. Okay? If Terence Crawford gets cute and gets put in a situation of having Jaron Ennis be his mandatory and not fight Errol Spence Jr., not a smart move, dog. Not a smart move. You know what I'm saying? Not a smart move. And I'm even going to say this, even with guys like Virgil Ortiz, not a smart move. Well, Virgil Ortiz, I think they'll both be. But not a smart move. It's time to wrap up them belts is what time it is. Unless, of course, Boots, unless Boots, something is missing from Boots that I don't see. I will always throw that out there, man. Unless there's it's just a very, very high risk fight. High risk fight, dog. You know what I mean? Fight don't make sense. It makes sense. Makes sense for Boots. It makes sense for fans. The biggest fight that makes sense, though, is, man, can we get this Terence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr. fight? And stop acting like that's the fight right there. I mean, let's just be real. That is the fight right there. Right there. That's the fight. There is no more heavyweight fights. There's no fight up there. I'm just telling you right now. No fights. There are no fights, real super fights left at heavyweight. Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury cleared the deck on that. Because and Anthony Joshua, by losing to somebody like Usyk, cleared the deck on that. That's it. Because AJ's not a superstar. AJ's not a super boxer no more. Nope. He's not it no more. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, we already know. And Tyson Fury's not that big a name. There's nobody that's going to be as big a fight for Tyson Fury as Deontay Wilder was. We're not going to see a fight as big as Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury 2 in a very long time. We're not going to see it because everybody's blown their wad already. You know what I'm saying? Dillian White going to fight Dillian White, Tyson Fury is going to be over there in the UK. They're already talking about it. That fight ain't going to be, they can't sell tickets to that in the United States. Can't sell it. Not going to get the big fights, but it will be in the middle of the afternoon, though. It will. That's a good thing. It will be in the middle of the afternoon. So we'll actually get to see the fight. I would like that. To know that rest of Tyson Fury's fights, we're going to see in the middle of the afternoon. And because that's the one thing I don't like about boxing. Major thing I don't like is I got to wait till 11:30 at night to see the fight. I hate that. No joke. I'm like, man, can we have a sport where we can see a fight like in the evening, like 6 or 7 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Like 7 o'clock at night. Hey, man, it's prime time, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock during prime time. See the fight during, but that sport's not big enough, man. You know what I mean? So you say you got to move to the East Coast I got to move to the West Coast. The East Coast ain't the problem. The West Coast is the problem. Because the West Coast get their fights. It's 9:30 for them. It's reasonable time for people in California. It's reasonable time for California. It's not reasonable time out east. Y'all watching them fights at like midnight. Robert here, Jaramillo in the building. Much love in that super chat, man. He said, great show again, Fannon. Hit it out the park. I want to see Charlo Benavidez, 2 young dogs. Who you got? Charlo. I got Charlo over Benavidez. Because Benavidez unlucky. Let me tell you, I'm going with him because Benavidez is unlucky. Don't know why he's so unlucky, but he's unlucky. Things just go wrong for Benavidez, man. I don't know, man. He did something in another life or something, but things just go wrong for him. Although I think it is a very, very good fight. Very, very good fight. I think Jamal might be able to do something with him with that jab. Might be able to. You know what I mean? But I could be wrong. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I could be wrong. But I like Benavidez, man. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I think I'm just kind of riding with Jamal on that. I think, honestly, let me see. First thing out of my mouth, I think Benavidez will win. That's the truth. First thing out of my mouth is Benavidez will win. That's my first gut. That's my gut feeling. My off the top of the head is Benavidez. Benavidez and Canelo. First gut is Benavidez. No, it's obviously Canelo because I said it. But really, I think Benavidez can beat him. I'll tell you this about Canelo though. Since we're gonna shift to if we can shift to a Canelo fight right now, dog, y'all blowing a lot. Canelo is ripe for an upset. Ripe. There's too much smoke being blown up his backside, dog. I don't think these guys are willing to step out on the line and say they think he can lose. I think a lot of guys are just picking him without really thinking and are just going with him. Like, yeah, I know he's really skilled, but it's Canelo, and I just think he'll walk him down at the end of the round. I'm telling you, man, I'm starting to think. I'm starting to think that these guys are just picking. They're going with the easy, popular pick. Because there's so much pushback you get for not picking Canelo. You get a lot of smoke for not picking Canelo. A lot of smoke for not picking Canelo. And these guys don't want to have all these Canelo fans on top of their neck calling them dummies and all of that stuff. I'm thinking there may be a little bit of public pressure with that. Kind of same way how people were doing with Manny Pacquiao. Acting as if, like everybody was picking Manny Pacquiao to beat Ugas. I'm like, man, are you nuts? Manny Pacquiao's 42 years old, but he's a great 42. He's the world's best 42. I mean, he's ageless. Look at his footwork. Pause. Let's evaluate this. In his last fight, he was getting stuck with straight right hands by Keith Thurman. Stuck. Consistently stuck. Dead in the middle of his face. Could not get out the way of them things. Couldn't. Now, he won the fight because he got that knockdown, and he had Thurman a little bit confused because he was springy. And I think Thurman really gave him too much respect, is what I think. Thurman gave him too much respect. Thurman should have held his ground with Manny Pacquiao. Held his ground and did what Ugas did. Come forward at him. And Ugas got him. Spence was going to annihilate him. But you had a lot of people that just was not, it was that body shot. Really, I think he fell on the way back. But whatever. Yeah, Thurman effed up his clout. But he should have. But in the second half of the fight, he was just, that's why I was picking Ugas to win. But anyway, I don't want to get off that subject. My point in bringing that up is that there's really a lot of people that do not want to go against the grain. And they will believe what the grain says. And there's a lot of people that specialize in making a lot of people that are really good at pushing the grain a certain way and then trying to pile on you with popular opinion. But I'm telling you, man, Canelo Alvarez is not some fighter that is undefeatable. He doesn't look undefeatable to me. And he's not been fighting anybody lately. Like, I don't know what you can really take, honestly, what you can take from a fight with Callum Smith or Billy Joe Saunders or Yeldamir. I don't know what you can take with that. You know what I'm saying? Like the fights that I think you can take something from are Daniel Jacobs, and Daniel Jacobs and Gennady Golovkin. And he beat Daniel Jacobs. But it wasn't some big blowout where Daniel Jacobs wasn't in the fight and Daniel Jacobs didn't have a chance to win and he walked down and destroyed Daniel Jacobs. You know what I mean? He didn't do that to Daniel Jacobs. He won the fight in a unanimous decision and he won it. I mean, he definitely won the fight. I'm not saying that Daniel Jacobs, but Daniel Jacobs was not, it wasn't a matter of, oh yeah, Daniel Jacobs is going to last for a couple rounds and all of a sudden, you saw Canelo walking him down and trying to pound him out. It was a good fight. You know what I mean? It was a fight. It wasn't an unfair fight between the two of them. Same thing with Gennady Golovkin. Deontay Guerrero, so who do I got? I mean, I'm going to edge with Canelo, but it's not, I mean, I would favor Canelo, but it's not a scenario where this dude, where Caleb Plant ain't got a choice, doesn't have a chance. You know what I mean? I'll put it this way. I would not be completely shocked if Canelo Alvarez, I would not be super shocked if Caleb Plant won the fight. Telling you, I wouldn't be like, let me put it this way. I'm not picking it to happen because I definitely respect Canelo Alvarez. But I don't think that's I don't think that it is so bananas. I don't think it is so bananas that I don't know. Was that true? Dante Early said true. Yeah, that's where I am. It's like, I'm going to pick him to win. I'm going to pick him to win. But at the same time, there are scenarios where Caleb Plant can win this fight, especially if that dude gets old. Especially if Canelo gets old in that ring. And people are saying, you can think, well, he's not that old. Yes, he is. In traditional boxing sense, Canelo Alvarez is over 30 years old now, isn't he? He's over 30. And he started fighting professionally at 16. He started fighting professionally in 2005. He's in his 15th year as a professional fighter. He's not somebody like Errol Spence or Deontay Wilder that turned pro when they were 24 or 25. He turned pro when he's 16, 15 or 16? At 15. He turned pro at 15. And he's 30 now. He's been a professional fighter half of his life. He may get old. You know what I'm saying? He may get old. He already looks like he's slowing down. He does not. Now I could be wrong but I could be wrong and it could be like he's just gotten so much better that he doesn't have to move a lot anymore. But really, I also think it might be the level of competition. He looked the best against guys that were washed up, or guys that were never up to begin with. Guys that are either washed up or never were up to begin with. Like Callum Smith, come on. Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, Rocky Fielding, and Yeldamir. Those are tune-ups. Those are a bunch of tune-up fights for him. You know what I mean? Those are not real fights. Those are tune-up fights. His real fights have been, maybe Sergey. Sergey was a real fight because it's Kovalev. You know what I mean? But, wasn't much left of Kovalev, and he'd been knocked out multiple times. So, it is what it is, though. He's slowing down due to weight, and he's slowing down due to weight and weight and experience. That may be fair. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, don't lunch on the dude, man. Don't lunch completely on Caleb Plant, man. However, I will say this: he ain't getting no decision in Vegas. He's not getting no decision in Vegas. That's why I'm not like, I don't care what they are not. Caleb Plant is going to have to prevent Canelo Alvarez from throwing any punches for Canelo Alvarez not to win the round. Because they're going to give a bunch of rounds to Canelo Alvarez. It's just that's why because if Canelo Alvarez can get a draw on a card against Floyd Mayweather Jr. and he can get a win against Lara, you know full well that it ain't gonna be that easy to beat that dude, man. And let me thank you to everybody in these super chats and everybody that comes to the live stream, man. This is so fun, man. I'm glad I extended the show because now we get to have real conversations, man. It's not rushed. Quintoni Davis said, Plant has a great chance to win. Canelo is flat-footed and kind of slow. Plant has fast hands. Yeah, he does. But he's going to have to sit there, dog. He's going to have to sit down and go at him. He's going to have to sit there and go at him. And Canelo, sitting in front of Canelo is very difficult. Because Canelo's upper body movement is excellent, man. His upper body movement is absolutely, positively excellent. Donna Harris said, good energy for Fannon. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm good. I feel like life is good, man. I feel like I'm in a good place, man. When I first started doing the chat, like after I took that time off, my energy levels were not right, man. You know what I mean? I just wasn't. I just wasn't right, man. But now I feel like myself, man. Fannon, I like to catch your live anytime it's on. Zulu Lion, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. That means a lot, man, to have cats that support you, you know? CG Cap said, that's why you rarely see Canelo hit with uppercuts to the body or head. Yeah, man, ain't no joke. Hitting him up close, going to be very, 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 very difficult, dog. It's going to be very, 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 very difficult to hit that dude to the head, man. And that's where I'm like, that's the problem for me and Caleb Plant is that. Now, if it was somebody like Errol Spence, I think that's less of a problem for a guy that fights like Errol Spence. Oh, and honestly, I think it's less of a problem for like David Benavidez. Canelo Alvarez has got good head movement, but David Benavidez's hands are otherworldly fast, dog. Otherworldly fast. Like, I think he may have the fastest hands in boxing above 126. Like, I don't know who's got faster hands than David Benavidez, man. And I mean it. Like, I don't think Lomachenko's got faster hands than David Benavidez. Like, somebody tell me if I'm wrong, but David Benavidez's hand speed is stupid fast. Stupid fast. His footwork he's kind of comes behind you. Like his feet ain't the fastest in the world because he's coming forward and cutting off the ring. But man, that hand speed and how short his punches are and how fast his punches are, man, Lord have mercy, bro. My man in that super chat, and thank you guys for supporting the channel, man. I can't tell you how much you guys help the channel continue to move forward. My man JB Hanna said, happy Friday, Fannon. Got that audio back up. Yep. Just eating what's up. By the way, Shakur and Devin ain't fighting till their 30s. Let me tell you something, man. Devin Haney will never fight Shakur Stevenson. Unless absolutely positively he has to. Not gonna happen, dog. Let me put it this way. And I mean this, man, respectfully. It would be dumb. It would be dumb. It would be dumb. The smartest move that Shakur could make, and this is just Devin can make, is to sign with Mayweather Promotions. He should sign with Floyd and go on a flat-footed Mexican tour. No joke. Go on a flat-footed Latino tour and beat them dudes up. Just keep beating them up, get paid, beat them up, get paid. Stay away from Shakur Stevenson. Because Shakur Stevenson is I don't see him winning that fight. Do not see him winning the fight. And you know they're not, and that's the only way he's ever going to get Gervonta Davis, who he's got a chance to beat. And Teofimo Lopez is never going to fight Teofimo. Teofimo Lopez is never going to fight Devin Haney. Never, ever, 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 ever. Because he's going to lose. or he's going to look bad. One or the other. He's either going to lose or he's going to look real bad. One or the other. Lose or look real, real bad in a win. These guys talk about all that. Everybody want to fight each other. But I'm telling you right now, dog, that ain't the way the cookie's been crumbling. And when the cookie starts crumbling differently, then I'll start believing people. And let me use it. Let me do this by analogy. All right. For the last, I don't know, just say every fight is a cookie. And Floyd Mayweather Jr., Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford, Vasily Lomachenko, Gary Russell Jr., all these guys have been baking cookies. And every time I see it, the cookie crumbles the same way. Okay? So I know which way these cookies is going to crumble. Floyd Mayweather is not going to be fighting Thurman. I knew it. We can talk about it, but it ain't going to happen. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is not going to fight Sean Porter. We know it. We can talk about it. It ain't going to happen. That's the way that cookie crumbles. Okay? Lomachenko is not going to give a rematch to Gary Russell Jr. I would love it. Think it would be the fair thing to happen, but that is not the way that cookie's going to crumble. Now, we're on to this. Cookie's crumbling now. Devin Haney or Teofimo Lopez talks like he'll fight Devin Haney. He says, show up to the meeting with Bob Arum. You didn't show up. If you show up, send me the contract. You're a cap. You got a silver spoon in your mouth. He'll say all of that. But when that cookie comes out that oven, it's going to crumble up to 140 pounds, and he's going to fight somebody else. That's how that cookie's going to crumble. And until he pulls that cookie out and that cookie says, officially announced, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, I'm not going to believe it. I'm not going to believe it. Do not tell me otherwise. Shakur Stevenson, for multiple reasons. Primarily, though, because that dude is the damn truth. Okay? He was the truth in the amateurs when all those guys were the amateurs. He was the truth when all of those guys were in the amateurs at the same time. The number one amateur out of all of those guys, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, all of them. The number one guy in the amateurs was Shakur Stevenson. That was the man in the amateurs. And now that guy that was the man in the amateurs is now the first legitimate 2-division champion of the crew. Legitimate. Gervonta ain't legitimate. Gervonta got juniors. And he looks like he's improving. I don't think those guys are that confident in beating that kid. Doesn't see. I don't know. I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. And I don't think that cookie, that crumble is going to cook. Benchmark said Loma outclassed Russell. No, he didn't. He won the fight. He didn't outclass him. He won the fight. Benchmark. He was not a different class of fighter than Gary Russell Jr. He was a bigger fighter than Gary Russell Jr., and he was a better fighter than Gary Russell Jr. I will say that. That fight that I saw, he looked like he was the bigger guy, and Gary Russell Jr. could not get to him. Gary Russell wanted to get inside, wanted to mix it up with him, and Vasily Lomachenko kept him from doing it. He kept the fight at distance. That's how I saw the fight. He's a bigger man than Gary Russell Jr. He's not a different class of fighter than Gary Russell Jr. If he was a different class of fighter than Gary Russell Jr., he wouldn't have lost to Teofimo Lopez, and he wouldn't have lost to Orlando Salido. He was a bigger fighter than Gary Russell Jr. He had a couple inches height advantage on him, couple inches arm reach advantage on him, and he used it because he's a Hall of Fame fighter and a two-time Olympian and an excellent, excellent fighter. But he did not outclass him. He outclassed a bunch of other people, but he didn't outclass him. And by the way, I don't think Shakur, even though I think Shakur Stevenson will beat Teofimo Lopez, I don't think he's going to outclass him. I just think he's going to beat him. They're the same class of fighter. Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford are not. Errol Spence is not going to outclass Terence Crawford. And Terence Crawford's not going to outclass him. They're the same class of fighter, upper level fighters. But one of them is going to win the fight. Okay? I'm telling you. Just like Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury did not outclass Deontay Wilder.
If he had outclassed him, he wouldn't have wound up on the deck 4 times. If he had outclassed him. That's the same class of fighter. Tyson Fury is just a better fighter, and his attributes beat Deontay Wilder's attributes. The main attribute that Tyson Fury had that allowed that to happen was the fact that he weighs 300 pounds and can absorb all that energy and get back up. He's literally the size of a buffalo. Since buffaloes can take better punches than horses can, that's why he was allowed to stay awake through those fights. But if he was any smaller, he wouldn't have stayed awake. And that's why all these other dudes talking this smack about Deontay Wilder may need to pay attention. You're not 300, you're not 200, you're not 6'9", 207. He weigh in at 270. So he say he walked in. I don't think he even tried to, I don't know why he would even try to play with his weight or whatever, or dehydrate himself at all. But dude, he had a 60-pound weight advantage? You know what I'm saying? You better have a 60-pound weight advantage over Deontay Wilder. 60 pounds? If you ain't 60 pounds bigger than him and 2 inches taller, let's see you take that shot. But I don't think he's going to outclass. He didn't outclass the dude. Ryan Garcia, man. They all going to beat Ryan Garcia, man. They're all going to beat Ryan Garcia, man. He said that man vacated and moved up to Chase Valdez. You talking about Shakur? Dude, look, man, if you're talking about Shakur, I hope he gets that fight. Put a 1 in the chat if you actually think that he's going to get it. If he had the trouble with Jamel Herring, then maybe. If he had trouble with Jamel Herring, they might have made that fight. But the way that he beat Jamel Herring, dude, there is nothing Shakur that Oscar Valdez is going to try to do to Shakur Stevenson that he didn't show that he could handle against Jamel Herring. And Jamel Herring is bigger than Oscar Valdez and hits harder than Oscar Valdez. Oscar Valdez winding up with body shots and eating punches, coming forward at Conceição. Dog, he's going to be eating punches all night long, as long as it lasts. They'll stop the fight. Honestly, I don't think Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson goes 8 rounds. I would be surprised if it went 8 rounds. Jeffrey Brooks in that super chat, man. Much love in that super chat, man. Thank you so much, man. I said Crawford doesn't see him, and Spence fight ever going down. He's talking himself. He's talking. He can't get out that fight. Not going to happen. Can't get out of it. Cannot get out of it. I'm telling you, neither one of them can. Man, let me tell you something, man. The first dude to move up and not fight that dude is a punk. Officially. If Errol Spence gets that WBA belt and Errol Spence calls out Terence Crawford and says, I want to fight you next, and Terence Crawford tells him no, Terence Crawford is going to look like the biggest punk in the world. Because that is what it's going to come down to, I'm telling you. When Errol Spence comes back, if he cannot get that fight with Yordenis Ugas, Errol Spence Jr. is going to say, I want Terence Crawford. He's going to say it out of his mouth. At least that's what I believe. He's going to say it out of his mouth. I want Terence Crawford next. And I wouldn't be surprised if he went to his fight and said, I want you next. Errol Spence ain't beyond that. If Errol Spence does that, it does 2 things. It gives Terence Crawford more leverage to get a higher cut of that money, because he's the one acting like he doesn't want it. And then number 2, it's going to force him into the fight. Because if he doesn't do it, dog, I'm seriously, man, the reign of discontent, the reign of discontent that will fall upon the brow of Terence Crawford should be likened to Hurricane Katrina. You cannot not fight that man if that man calls you out with absolutely positively no doubt about it. He's got to fight. Gotta fight. Anybody else he fights, Reggie Celestine, how's he done? Is that wishful thinking? Is that wishful thinking? That is wishful thinking, I do believe. And why are you putting that on that man? Robert Jaramillo. Fannon, what don't you like about Munguia? He's undefeated, has heart. His fact that he walks forward and takes punches to the face. That's what I don't like about him. I don't like the fact that he comes forward and gets punched in the face consistently. However, I've not seen Jaime Munguia in a while. So I got to see him again. I haven't watched Jaime Munguia since he had difficulties since he went the distance with that guy from the UK. I can't remember what the guy from the UK's name is, but once that UK guy was outboxing him and took him the different distance and he won by decision, I was like, nah, man, he's not all that. Be easy in that super chat, man. Thank you so much for supporting that channel, man. He said, Spence will bully Crawford in the pocket and on the inside, but inside, Bud won't trade with Errol. Spence beats Bud by unanimous decision. I think he'll trade Be Easy. I think he'll trade with him. This is gonna be a lovely fight, man. Yeah, Dennis Hogan is the guy. Yeah, Dennis Hogan is Dennis Hogan. Dennis Hogan is the guy. Oh, they'll trade. Man, Terence Crawford got heart, man. That's honestly, dude. That's why I'm picking Errol Spence, because I think Terence Crawford will trade. Terence Crawford is somebody who will throw hands with you, dog. No doubt about it. He's not somebody that is going to be. He's not going to be soft about it, dude. He's actually going to step to the plate, man. I don't believe he's going to. Both of those dudes, man. Jeffrey Brooks in that super chat again, man. Y'all definitely showing love, man. He said, I think that's an indication that Bud is going to re-sign with Top Rank, and he knows PBC isn't going to work with Top Rank. That's what I'm picking. Top Rank's not re-signing him. Top Rank said they will fight. They will deal with Terence Crawford on a fight-by-fight basis, and that's it. They said that they are not going to. They said they're not going to do it, man. They're not going to do it. Bob Arum, even though he just, and Bob Arum is wild, man. I like Bob Arum, man. Seriously, man, I like Bob Arum. I can't tell you, man. I used to, when I first started my channel, man, I used to always tell people how much I respected Bob Arum. And I do. I respect Bob Arum. And I like Bob Arum, man. I like him, man. As a personality, I've never met him as a man. But as a personality, I like Bob Arum. Because Bob Arum will lie, but he will tell you the truth too. And you know when he's lying, and you know when he's telling the truth, dog. But what he said was, Bob Arum said, well, with Terence Crawford, yeah, I try to do the voice. With Terence Crawford, he wants to be like the good old days. When Hagler, when he was fighting with Hagler, he had Hearns, and he said with Hagler, I never fought. We never had a long-term contract. With Hagler. We did it a fight-by-fight basis, right? Or with Marvelous Hagler. It was never a long-term contract. So really, it works best for both guys. It works best for him. It works best for me to be on a fight-by-fight contract. I swear, dude, 2 days later, he announced a long-term contract that he signed with this new prospect. I'm like, hold on, man. How you still signing people to long-term contracts if it's best to always go fight by fight? They just re-signed Teofimo. They got Teofimo Lopez on a long-term contract. They got Shakur Stevenson on a long-term contract. They had Tyson Fury on a long-term contract. They're like, no, Terence Crawford got to go because Terence Crawford ain't making me no money, and he dead serious about it. And and I do believe he made the WBO, or shall I say, influenced the WBO to make this Porter fight so that they could get a real fight off. Because it's obvious, dude, that camp does not mind taking cherries, dog. They will take a cherry for $3 million and laugh about it in your face. And do not act like they will not.
Okay? And if you in Terence Crawford's camp, do not act like you will not do that. Okay? When Zepeda, he was supposed to be fighting Zepeda. One of the managers, who shall remain nameless, straight up said, he's like, yeah, if we can get these other fights done, but hey, man, if we can't, we're going to make $4 million fighting Zepeda. And was like, yeah, man, we'll take $4 million for fighting Zepeda. See, and it's logical. There's nothing wrong with that. That is being intelligent. That is being money. That is being good with your money. All of the above, dog. But then when you say it, people want to get their feelings hurt like you lying about it or something. But anyway, man, yeah, Jack in the building, man. Jack, man, much love in that super chat, man. Y'all supporting the brother. Thank you, man. Hey, man, but look, man, I'll tell you what. I said Aram is hell, yeah, but I'll tell you what I like about him. Man, there's things I like. Hold on one second. Good morning, Fannon. What do you think? Who do you think would win if Deontay Wilder and AJ fought right now? Deontay Wilder. Because Anthony Joshua is going to be scared to death. Anthony Joshua would not step to Alexander Usyk. He's going to sit outside and try to pity pat Deontay Wilder. He's getting knocked out. If he sits on the outside and pity pats with Deontay Wilder, he's going to get knocked out. He don't got a chin, and he's scary. He need a heart transplant. Deontay Wilder, don't care. He proved it. Deontay Wilder don't care. Deontay Wilder has already shown you that that even if he loses and he gets beat up, he's going to get back in there and he's going to keep fighting. No joke. He's still going to go for it. He's still going to do everything he can do. Your boy, AJ, nah. AJ, nah. Look, man. There's things that all these guys are personalities to me. So there's things that I can like about them, things that I don't like about them. Just like you got friends, like certain things people like about me that are friends of mine, certain things they don't like about me. And it took me a long time to realize, like, you know what? I probably need to improve on some of these things that I know people don't like about me, because honestly, there's some unlikable things about me. So Terence, so for Bob Arum, the only thing that I got about Bob Arum, and this is on the real, the only beef that I got with Bob Arum is that he does not promote black fighters as well as he promotes other fighters. That black fighters look second fiddle. It seems to me that he's ripping up, that he will try to get over on all those fighters. You know what I mean? But he will give that initial push, and his organization will stand behind fighters, Eastern European fighters and Hispanic fighters, that is his business model, that he believes that he can sell those fighters. That's what I don't like about Bob Arum, because I don't see, like, for example, the promotion of Shakur Stevenson versus the promotion of Teofimo Lopez. Even then, Shakur Stevenson was saying that early on in his career. He's like, look, man, he was talking to Max Kellerman. He's like, man, they're not promoting me like they're promoting Teofimo Lopez. You're even talking to me about what I think about Teofimo Lopez. That was a big thing with Shakur Stevenson early on, because all of the promotion was with Teofimo Lopez. That backfired on Bob Arum, though, like a champ. That backfired on Bob Arum. But Bob Arum now is standing behind Oscar Valdez, and he's not going to give Oscar Valdez. He's not going to let Shakur Stevenson beat him. But even there, I understand that those are business decisions. I believe it. I believe those are business decisions, because if I was counting my checkbook, I'm not into throwing $100. I'm not into throwing away $100 bills. I'm not into throwing away money, right? Matter of fact, I just saw something come across my yearly membership for $39 that I'm about to contest. Like, what is this? Oh God, I bought something a year ago that bills me yearly. Get out of here. You're not gonna get me for $300 over 10 years. How they be doing people, man. Anyway, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. But I know, it is. Aaron Jones said, why sign to someone who not going to promote you? Because you ain't got no choice but to get a fight. Signing bonuses, and your ability to get fights. Those young fighters need people. They need people. They need people, and they need money. You know what I'm saying? So early on in career, Bob Arum ain't bad for it. Now look,
Bob Arum ain't completely bad now. Because the fact of the matter is, if Bob Arum or Don King hadn't signed those guys, and like hadn't signed Floyd Mayweather, hadn't signed Oscar De La Hoya, right? They may never have gotten to the point that they got to. You know what I mean? They made initial investments and took initial gambles on those guys. Those guys might not have panned out. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys, I'm sure, that Bob Arum signs, gives signing bonuses to, invest money, and they don't pan out at all. You know what I mean? Jeffrey Brooks said, much love in that super chat. Says, should Bud totally dominate Sean? Will you still pick Spence over Bud, considering the fact that Spence almost lost to Sean? I don't think he almost lost to him. I think he won that fight. I thought he won the fight convincingly. But it depends. It depends, man. But the styles don't change. The styles don't change. It would be, how does he deal with that pressure? If he got a problem with that pressure, no. If he doesn't have any problem with the pressure, maybe. I don't know. We just got to see. We'll see. My belief in Errol Spence is pretty deeply rooted. The only thing would make that is even in the back of my mind making it waver is the fact that Errol Spence had that car accident and he had that torn retina. That's it. And then I only think that, NBF, I understand that. D'Avion Bible said, you right about Bob. I had to go on Shakur's Instagram to find out about the second fight, the second to last fight. Yeah, man. Much love in that super chat. They put the money behind Teofimo Lopez. They like them names. Bob, but look, dude, how many? But Floyd Mayweather damn near ain't no different. That's the only one he's giving shots to. Bob Arum promotes him, and Floyd Mayweather Jr. exploits him. Different side of the same coin, in my opinion, on the real, because Floyd Mayweather ain't giving no black fighters no shots at Gervonta. He ain't giving them no shots at Gervonta. No. He gave Riley Romero a shot though, like that name Romero, huh? Like I told you, the next fight will have a Spanish last name, no matter what it is. You know what I mean? But I respect that. See, I like this. This is a good chat, bro. This is a good chat. Because we got people who are Devin Haney fans that are not getting disrespected, blocked, thrown out. We got people who are Terence Crawford fans, not getting blocked, not getting thrown out, not getting upset because I'm riding with Errol Spence Jr. But more than likely, I'm going to tell you, actually, there you go. Let me back up a little bit. I can give you the answer to that. No, it's not going to change my mind because I'm going to ride with Errol Spence. And I think Errol Spence got a better trainer. How you like them apples? Errol Spence got a better trainer in Derek James than Bomac. Then that, because hey man, they couldn't figure out that last fight. I don't know how they let down Jamel Herring, man. Jamel should have won that fight. No, he shouldn't have. Brian James said the Spence fight, man, much love in that super chat. The Spence that fought Porter wasn't Spence. Hey, man, that was a good fight. Dude, Spence beat that dude, man. I say go back and look at that fight again. He did get hit a lot, though. Man, Fahim, hey, man, much love in that super chat, man. I appreciate you, man, for supporting the channel. Fahim said, man, F Bud and Bomac. Man, come on, man. Man, let's all have a good session of talking smack about the opposite squads. Hey, all I'm saying is that Derek James is a better trainer. I think he's a better trainer. Got better fight. Hey, got two. How many champions Bomac got? Can somebody tell me how many champs Bomac got? And how many belts Bomac got? How many belts Derek James got? I'm riding with Derek James, dog. I think Derek James will figure out Terence Crawford. That's what I think. And I'm riding with the whole squad. You know what I mean? Fitty Band said they don't understand how tough Porter is. Yeah, you know what it is. It is. It is what it is. He won the fight, man, against and he went and balls to the walls with the man. Went to wrecking him, dog. Went to wrecking him. Jeffrey Brooks in the building said, make no mistake about it. Much love in that super chat, my man Jeffrey Brooks. He said, make no mistake about it. If Spence didn't get that knockdown versus Sean, I see him losing it. Oh, no. Losing that fight. Sean was being more aggressive than Errol. I don't think so, dog, but let's check the scores. Let's see the scores. Hold on 1 second, man. That is easily box wreckable. That is box wreckable. We'll see if there was anybody within 2 points. Errol Spence went right back to boxing Danny Garcia, though. He went to boxing Danny Garcia. Sean Porter, event. Nah, I don't want the event. I want the bout, homie. Give me the bout. Did I sign in? I hope I signed in. All right. Yeah, man. Log in, man. Come on, man. I got to do it on my other one, man. I don't want to do this. I can't get them. I can't get it unless I sign into Man, they ain't got the scorecards on this, man. That's bananas. Oh, yeah, I got to sign in to view the scorecards. I don't know. I don't remember what the score was. I said, I think 2 cards within 2 points. Yeah, it might have been. So, yeah, but then he still would have won. But here's the thing. He did knock his ass down. Ain't no ifs. If, ands, and buts was candy and nuts. Oh, what a party we'd have. Ain't no if, ands, and buts. He dropped him. Bow. He intended to drop him. Bow. You know what I mean? He intended to box him. Personally, I think if he would have spent all day trying to box Sean Porter, he might have lost. You know what I mean? DeLeon Daniel said, just ignore my super chats. Bro, I ain't ignoring no money, dog. I'm not ignoring money. Dog. You probably gave $1, dog, and that gets passed over. However, I'm glad that you said that. I will go back and make sure that I get it. Shakur. Gary even called him out. He ignored him. That Gary called out. Now, let me ask you a question, bro. How many fights did Shakur Stevenson have at 126 as a champion? Did he have one fight? Did Shakur duck Devin? Did Shakur duck Gary, or did Gary duck Shakur? I don't know. But I'll tell you this. Okay, that you can make an argument for somebody ducking them, because they're in the same weight class. Just don't tell me. Just please don't tell me. Just don't tell me they were ducking Canelo, okay? DeLeon Daniels, I ain't trying to talk about trying to ignore you, but I'm telling you, if you and I don't have no problem with cats that please donate to the channel. People are like, oh, you're begging for super chats. Hey, dog, I don't mind them. I appreciate them very much. Thank you for showing the support. Sometimes, just to let you know, I'm not skipping over you. It's just sometimes those blue ones don't get shown. Like, they don't pop up. And it's just something on YouTube. Hey, Fannon said, you like somebody, Aaron? I like his fountain of youth. Yeah, hey, man. Hey, dog, he stays employed, stays busy, stays alive. That ain't no joke, man. So there you go. Shakur duck Gary? I don't know. I don't think so. Gary never called him out. Gary was looking for Leo Santa Cruz. And I think he only had how long he had a belt? But maybe if you think so, I don't think he ducked him. I never got the sense that Gary thought he ducked him. I just thought that he was in and out of that weight class, that he probably should never been in that weight class. He's in that weight class as a first weight class to get in and out. That's what it looked like to me. But I could be wrong, you know. There you now. Shakur was chasing Valdez, not ducking Gary. Now that he's definitely chasing him, man. He's definitely doing that. What he said? Whinings beg for ignoring. Oh, whiners begs for ignoring. Yes, man. Look, dude, I ain't ignore you, man. If I miss something, I'm not gonna ignore you, bro. Seriously. The only people that I ignore is people that start dumb stuff between me and you and YouTube channels. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dog, the only, like, you know what I mean? That's the only people that I ignore, bro. People, those type of cats. And honestly, man, I've not seen a lot of them. And I don't, we got a consistent group of people that are here every day. And I'm very, very happy for it. You know what I mean? Kevin Faulkner said, Bob and Al wouldn't make the fight. Promoters do more ducking than the fighters. No black fighters. Now that no black fighter stuff is real. And no southpaws. Gary's a southpaw. And Shakur's a southpaw. And you know that slick black southpaws for the 2 seconds. Man, that is hilarious, dog. They actually allowed people to talk about that for a second on ESPN for like 3 seconds. You know what I mean? Said ringside with LCD says Shakur didn't even mention Gary's name at 126. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't ready at 126. I mean, seriously, he wasn't ready for Gary at 126. I don't think there's no shame in that. He wasn't ready for Gary at 126. Not at that point in time in his career. I don't think he's ready for Gary. I think he's ready for Gary now. I don't think at 126 he's ready for Gary. My honest opinion. I don't think he's ready for Gary. Gary is a seasoned vet and very good at 126. I don't think that his Gary's too small. Dude, people be, man, there's a reason they're not fighting Gary, man. There's a reason they're not fighting Gary. Go watch seriously, man. All of y'all that talk that about Gary Russell Jr., go look at the man fight. Take some time, get a video of him, and watch the man fight. I promise you, if you're honest with yourself, you will see in those fights why people are not fighting him. Because they will most likely lose. If you are not a top level fighter and you fight Gary Russell Jr., you're going to get outboxed. Period. Point blank, period. He don't got to run from you. He don't got to do any of that. He's going to stand right in front of you and cause you all kind of problems, dog. From a southpaw stance with blazing fast hands. And the boy can crack just enough to keep you honest. And that's what that deal is. But anyway, much love to everybody in this chat, man. Oh, Lord. I guess look, Aaron, I'm going to not call you a moron. I will just say that what you say is moronic. Devin Haney let me name somebody he beat. Mason Menard. Did he beat Mason Menard? I think he beat Mason Menard. Is Mason Menard a world beater? Is Mason Menard a world beater? I can go through every one of any fighter you name and give you, if they got 20 fights, I can show you 18 guys they fought that are not world beaters. Guarantee you. I can show you, if Teofimo Lopez got 20 fights, if he got 24 fights, I can show you 23 guys that are not world beaters. 23. Tyson Fury got 26 fights. I can show you 23 fighters at least that are not world beaters. Tell me somebody. Tell me somebody. Mason Menard is a bum. Reggie. Who will not look like that word Mason Menard? That's what I'm saying. Oh, I guess King Tug was a world beater. No, King Tug was not a world beater, which is why he did not beat Gary Russell Jr. What I'm saying is, if you're not a world beater, you're not beating Gary Russell Jr. So if you like to point out, and yeah, Gary Tug is a badass, but world beater, whatever. What I'm telling you is, if you're not a world beater, you're not beating Gary Russell Jr. If you're not a world beater. If you're not a world beater, you're not beating Deontay Wilder. If you're not a world beater, you're not beating Canelo Alvarez. If you're not a world beater, you're not beating Errol Spence Jr. If you're not a world beater, you're not beating Terence Crawford. All of that's why these guys are world-class fighters. Because these guys that are not world-class fighters are not about to beat them. Okay? Your fighter got just as many bums on his record as the next guy, and do not act like they don't. That's when I know Devin did not look that great against Linares. Not great. He won the fight. He did not look great. He looked good. He won it. Great is an overstatement. Great. I'll tell you who looked great. Shakur Stevenson looked great against the guy he stopped in that 11th round in his last fight. That was looking great. That was looking great. Devin Haney looked good. He looked like he was better than Jorge Linares, and he won that fight. Great, I wouldn't put great on that. Great, yeah, not great. Good, not great. That's me. Yeah, exactly. Great is how Shakur looked great. Dante said he mean world cheater. I'm telling you, if you ain't a world beater, you ain't beating Canelo. I'm just telling you. If you are not the man, you ain't beating that man. And I'm telling you, that's why they don't fight Gary. And everybody can hire, well, we would love to fight him, but he only fights every 50 years. That's an excuse. If he's not fighting, then he's got a date open. How about you ask him to fight and see if he'll fight you? Instead of getting into the press and saying, well, I would fight him, but he never fights anybody. What do you think? Do you think he left the world? You think he left the planet or something? You know what I mean? Out of here. But anyway, oh, there you go. Devin looked great. Exact until. And that's what I mean. He looked good. That's why I say he looked good. But Devin is always going to look good if he's fighting from the outside and you can't catch him. If you fight from the outside, you can't catch up with him. He's going to look great. Without a doubt. The only thing that I'm saying about Devin Haney is when the guy catches him and the guy starts fighting him. What's going to happen when you got to fight? Because at a certain point in time, bro, no, I didn't miss it. Only the funk. Hold on one second. Only the funk. Only the funk. I didn't forget it. Hold on one second. Damn, what happened? Let me back up and put it here. I'm sorry, Only the Funk. Only the Funk said, Fannon, I think the Spence Porter fight was very close to the knockdown. That's fair. It was a close fight. Bud and Spence over Boots due to ring IQ, but the young bull is the truth. Yeah, maybe if you mean like as an experience, that may be the case. That's why I see, that's why I'm not going to say he beats him right now. I'm going to be, But I'm going to tell you, I definitely do think he's going to beat like Ugas. I do think he beats Jamal James, beats Ugas, beats the other guys in the weight class, beats Danny Garcia. I think he beats Danny Garcia. I probably beat Sean Porter, but Errol, I ain't giving him that there yet though, man. Anyway, though. But look, man, much love to everybody in the chat, man. Thank you guys so much for your support. And with that, I'm going to catch you guys. I'm probably going to be on tomorrow. 90% chance that I'm on tomorrow. You know what I mean? Because it's Saturday. Caesar said, yo, you got to watch that again, Fannon. I watched it 2 nights ago, and Devin was doing work. Yeah, he was doing work the whole fight. He was doing work the whole fight. Then he got caught. That's all I'm saying. When he got wobbled, that's what I mean. Wobbled. When you get wobbled, I think that takes you out of great and puts you into very good. I'm saying he looked good. Dude, Devin Haney is a very, very great, very, very good fighter, man. I don't got nothing against the dude, man. Very, very good fighter, bro. Very, very good fighter. But anyway, man, much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat. Thank you guys so much for your support. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.